addicted to success.
What's up? Welcome to your favorite podcast, The Ain't Shit Show, the home of booze, views, and unpopular opinions. I want to thank y'all for joining us for episode 101.
Yeah.
My name is Fresh, and I'm one half of the Pod Gods, and with me I have the best man in all the podcast land, my right-hand man, Mr. B. Hill.
Yeah. Fuckers up. It's good. Hope y'all all right on this Tuesday evening as we record. Thursday, whenever the hell you decide to listen to it, when you hear it. Hope you're doing well. God bless you all.
Hope you all are doing well. B, I'm not going to even, drag it out. I think we should just get into it and get the sad stuff kind of so we can get on to the happy stuff. And, people kind of use us as a break in the day of, heavy shit. So, as everyone knows, NBA legend Kobe Bryant died in a helicopter crash. Him and 9 other people. And one of those individuals happened to be his 13-year-old daughter, Gianna. The plane crashed in on a hillside in Calabasas in California. And I just figured, we'll just get right into it. Kobe was beloved and a legend and all that good shit. So we're just going to top this show off, by showing Kobe love and, just talking about it and, B, how you feeling and where were you when it happened?
Shit sucks. Rest in peace, Kobe. Rest in peace, Gigi, and all the other passengers of the fucking helicopter there. Shit sucks, man. I was at my homeboy house picking some shit up real quick and about to head back to the house. And I was on the phone with my homegirl Chan, and shout out to Chan. We was talking about some random ass shit. And then my cousin, he texted me like, Kobe died, bro. And I was like, Kobe who? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, I know a couple Kobes, but not, you know what I mean? And I'm like, but we don't know any of the same Kobe. So I was like, Kobe who, nigga? He was like, Kobe. Matter of fact, I think he was like, Kobe, when he said Kobe died, and I was like, Kobe who? And I didn't even get a response back. So I just went straight to Twitter. I saw that, TMZ, the fucking Illuminati that they are, fucking,
right.
I think Ebro had retweeted it or some shit like that. And it was like at the top of the timeline and shit. And then I saw it and I was like, shit, you know what I mean? And then, just proceeded to continue what I was doing. And then told my homegirl who I was talking to, text my cousin back. And went in my homeboy house and shit, was kicking it in for a second. He was hungover, so he couldn't really get with it right then.
He couldn't process what you was talking about?
Yeah, he couldn't process it. Yeah, he was like, damn, that's crazy. And he was just like, you know what I'm saying? You know how to hangover shit.
Facts.
And then one of my other homeboys called me and shit. And then I just called my homeboys and shit. So, how the shit go, man. Just called, people and shit that I knew that I needed to talk to, or people that I knew that weren't on social media. That's actually the first. So I sent my brother a text because he on social media, and then I sent I called my best friend whose birthday it was over the weekend. Shout out to Real Happy Birthday.
Happy birthday.
So that was it, man. That shit fucked me up, and then I went to my other homeboy house who lived not too far away because I really didn't feel like going home at that point, and stayed over there for a second, kicked it with him, and drank, and put one in the air for Kobe. And then as the details emerged and I found, we were praying. I was praying that his family wasn't aboard.
Yeah.
Shit like that. And, as they came out, like shit just made me even more sad because, I found out his daughter was there and shit. And as a man with kids, especially a daughter, like, shit just, resonated with me a little bit harder because I could as a father, our job is to protect our children,
right,
especially our girls. And I just, went to, I could only imagine how, the helplessness that he felt knowing that he's about to die. And then like his daughter who a regular Sunday, you know what I mean? Doing some shit that they love to do, playing basketball, you know, and he couldn't do nothing for her, you know what I'm saying? So shit just fucked up. Rip Cole, Rip Gigi, Rip the other families that were aboard. It was his daughter's teammates. They were going to play in a basketball tournament, a AAU tournament, against Jason Terry and his team, his little daughter. Jason Terry is also a basketball player to play in the league for them. I think the same amount of time Kobe did, about 20 years. And, you know, they were going to, and he said he was walking into the gym. I saw him on ESPN yesterday. He was walking into the gym and got the fucking text and was like, went to the MC, to the one of the main refs and was like, ain't no more basketball. Like, shut the shit down. And he said they shut it down. And,
damn.
You know, and everybody said a prayer and, you know, just commenced to being fucked up like everybody else in the world. So, shit fucked up. Rip Cole, man. Rip GG, rip all the family members. And, you know, the other passengers aboard. So.
It was crazy to me because it was a situation like when you get the call or the text that something has happened to most celebrities, right? And you're like, whatever, you know? And then, of course, you go to social, right? You go to social before you even go to Google because it's going to hit social before anything,
sure.
right?
Yeah.
And I look on social and I only see like one site has it. And then it's the TMZ shit. And I'm like, oh shit. Like you said, they're the Illuminati. Like they got the ins and outs on everything. TMZ is rarely wrong. Like very rarely.
Yeah, they ain't been wrong since they reported Lil Wayne dying back in the day. But outside of that, they've been pretty spot on.
Yeah, man. And I was like, damn. So then when I heard Kobe died, and I heard Rick Fox was with him. And I'm like, fucking Kobe and Rick Fox. I'm like, nah, that can't be right. But then it started popping up on the news everywhere. And when it started popping up on the news everywhere, like I knew it was official. And then, you know, I heard he was with his 13-year-old daughter. And that's when it really broke my heart. Like, damn, like children were on this joint. You know what I'm saying? And like,
man, yeah.
And I had seen some things, but I've definitely been inundated with more of them now, you know, about how he felt about his daughter and this daughter in particular. You know, he was a family guy and, you know, all of those things, but just hearing like the stories related to this particular daughter and how she was called like Mamacita. And I was like, oh, I didn't know any of that, but I didn't follow like his life like that, especially after he retired and everything. But it was just heartbreaking to me because it kind of seems like, especially for athletes, right? They train like their whole lives, literally like their whole lives for this sport. You know what I'm saying? And then once he retired and he was able to get into daddy mode and father mode and husband mode and become, you know, less selfish. And when I say selfish, I don't necessarily mean it in a bad way, but it's about him, right? Until he's able to spend that quality time, you know, with his family. It seemed like he was doing that. It seemed like he was loving it. And, you know, it's just kind of like a poetic justice almost that him and his daughter went down together, kind of going to do something that they really loved and they were practicing for, you know, and then to hear about like these other children that were on there. So my heart goes out to Vanessa Bryant, and now she has to tell, you know, her children that their father and their sister is gone. Like that's a crazy feeling. Like I can't even imagine. So I can't even imagine. And not only them, you know, but those, you know, the other families involved.
Yeah, I mean, there was multiple fathers on there. I mean, it was another, you know what I'm saying, that like multiple parents and children that died collectively. Like that shit is the worst.
It was,
like that's my word. Like I don't want to die. And I mean, I don't want to die.
Period. Right. Yeah.
Like, this shit, like, this shit honestly made me take a look and like, I'm scared to death. Like I used to be like, I ain't really scared to death. I'm fucking scared to death. I ain't even gonna hold you. Like not looking back, I don't want to fucking die. I mean, I know it's inevitable. Yeah. Obviously it's the only certain that you can get out of this shit, but I ain't really, that shit fucks with me, like, especially now, because I got so many priorities. A little, before, like, I ain't have kids and shit, so I ain't have the, the same, obviously, responsibilities and shit. I mean, I still had family and shit, but
your responsibilities are just different.
They just more dire.
Mm-hmm.
And I just, like, that shit.
And you're the breadwinner.
I'm not looking.
You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
You've discussed that on this show several times. Like, you hold down your immediate family and, like, your mom and them and all that. So,
nigga, to the 10th power. Like, that shit crazy. You know what I mean? Like, so I don't know. That shit just, I don't know. I can't say, like, cause I literally grew up with this nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like, for real. Like, he's 41, I'm 36. You know what I'm saying? I'm finna be 37. So, like, I love basketball, it's my number one sport, and it has been since I was a kid. So, like, seeing him, and his ascension up the ranks, like, I grew with him in that regard, like, and, people love to hate Kobe because he emulated Mike so much, X, Y, and Z, but looking back at it now, why not emulate the greatest that you can be? You know what I mean? Like, why not? Like, that's a hell of a muse to try to imitate, you know what I'm saying? And emulate. So, as a man, you just, certain things that you did as a child and thoughts. I never really hated him. Like, I know some people had, like, hatred for him as far as, like, him on the basketball court or whatever, but I never really hated him. I wasn't a fan of him necessarily, but, I fuck with him, you know what I'm saying? And I marvel at his determination, his skill. I mean, the nigga was a monster on the court, like, straight up and down, you know what I'm saying? Like, and if you had loved basketball, even if you don't, like, even if you don't really love basketball, you still know, you know what I mean, how, his stamp on the game. And, arguably one of the greatest players of all time, easily the greatest Laker of all time. Like, just the sheer will and determination. But I think for me now, like, I ain't gonna say I fell in love with Kobe as his second, after his retirement, but I started to really appreciate him more once I started to, like, once he's doing podcasts, cause he's done a lot of podcasts over the past year and a half that have all been exceptional. You know what I mean? Like, anything, cause he was super intelligent, you know what I mean? So he was super articulate. He used to cuss like hell. So he was a lot like myself in terms of, like, I could see myself in terms, like, in him, you know what I'm saying? Like, just certain things, like his passion, his drive, his determination. He had, like, he had confidence, you know what I mean? That you couldn't
You
get.
definitely have confidence, my guy. So I see why
for sure.
Cause you humble on every podcast.
Yeah, you gotta be. If I don't love me,
I know that. Hey, I ain't even mad at you for that. I'm not even mad at you for that.
My mama gave me that, you know what I mean? My mama the same way. But nah, I mean, just like, he was just incredibly intelligent. Some bitch knew 5 fucking languages and shit. Like, this nigga was speaking Czechoslovakian, like some shit, like not Spanish. You know what I'm saying? Like, mad shit, you know what I mean? And, there's a bunch of dope interviews out there. It was, one with Up in Smoke, with Matt Barnes and Steven Jackson. They got a dope podcast. They had him on, like, maybe 3 weeks ago. It was super dope. Yeah. And it kind of just details, things that he did in his career and, his relationships with different players and shit like that. And he had he had another one with Knuckleheads, and then, I forgot the white dude's name that he did, but they were all really great. And it just speaks, one of those podcasts, he talks about his usage of helicopters. And I knew about this beforehand, before it. So then when I heard about it, I was like, shit, but he started taking helicopters because he missed, one of his daughter's recitals because of LA traffic. He was like, I can't fuck with that. Like, he was like, that shit was the worst. So I started taking helicopters where it would take me an hour to get somewhere. It took me 10 to 15 minutes to get in and out, you know what I mean? So he was like, and that was paramount for me as a father to make sure I'm there at everything that I can be at, especially considering that, a good part of my life was on the road for basketball. So,
I'm poor because I didn't even know a helicopter could hold 9 people.
Oh yeah, that's the
I'm super poor. Like, I never even knew that fact. That's why I was like, wait, 9 people? I've taken
helicopters before and shit too. Yeah.
You've been on one that big?
It was like 4. Nah, hell no. Shit I was on like, it was like 5 of us, I think. But yeah, that shit was like at Myrtle Beach or some shit. It was cool. It was a dope thing.
It gave me real, like, so this, like, Kobe thing, it kind of brought back Aaliyah feelings for me. Like, I remember when the news came that Aaliyah died in that small plane crash, and, like, plane crashes in general are just far and few in between. but then a plane crash or a helicopter crash or some type of aircraft crashing with like one of your favorite people in it is just mind blowing. And not saying that, I say all that to say nobody is exempt. You know what I'm saying? Like nobody is exempt. And when we look back on it, you always have like these reflective moments, right? Especially when somebody's young. So you have like 40-year-olds and 13-year-olds. You know what I'm saying? People who, haven't lived any life or only at the, starting point of when they really about to start living their life. You know what I'm saying? They've made it in their careers and, just doing different things. And it was like, damn, we sit back and we reflect and we think about all of these things. But I just, I just think about that like all the time. Like, damn, that's how I felt when Aaliyah died. And Kobe, Kobe, personality wise was not one of my favorites, but you could never, ever deny his skill. And I think, when the whole debate comes in about, like greatest player and, Jordan, LeBron or Kobe, I think that's the part where LeBron etches them out a little bit just because of his relatability to the people.
At this point, I ain't even fucking comparing. I'm just appreciating at this point.
Yeah,
like,
but
fuck all that comparison shit.
But I feel like, when I hear the stories about Kobe the man versus Kobe on the court, it's like, damn, like, that's an awesome guy. Like, just hearing him talking about
he was doing some great shit, man.
Just hearing talking about his family, his daughter, his businesses, his shit like that. I was like, oh, like, that's dope. Like, that's dope as fuck.
He was a venture capitalist. He had an incredible business acumen about him. You know what I mean?
He won an Oscar. He was an author.
For sure.
Like,
he definitely won an Oscar.
Outside of, just the gold medals and the MVPs and the 5 championships and all of that stuff. Like, Kobe the man was dope. And, people, you said the comparison and, maybe, some of the negative things. And of course, the 2013 stuff. I mean, yeah, what year was that? The 2013 shit came out and they were saying like, it's disrespectful to talk about that. Is it?
That shit won in 2013.
Was it 2013? 2006?
No, that shit was like 06. That shit was
yeah. I'm getting my dates mixed up.
Yeah, that shit was mad long ago. I mean, I don't really feel like it has any relevance. You know what I'm saying? Like it doesn't have any like I could see if he was, like
R. Kelly.
if he died with his side chick or some shit like that in a fucking blaze. That shit has nothing to do with it. Like he made an error in judgment. He did some fucked up shit. His wife forgave him, who was the person that needed to forgive him most. You know what I mean? And that shit was fucking damn near a dub from 20 years ago type shit. So like. Not to discount it at all, but I don't think it has any relevance as far as the man in death. Like, you know what I mean? Like he was with his daughter, he was with his family, he was taking his child to do something that they love. He was with other families, taking the other people and players on his in his team to do something out the goodness of his heart. I'm sure he didn't pay them, or they didn't pay him to ride in his fucking airplane, helicopter. So, man, miss me with all that weirdo shit, man.
Yeah,
same with you niggas with conspiracy theories and all this other shit. Niggas just, like, it's okay for people just to die. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't have to have any fucking, like, shit associated with it.
What's the conspiracy theory that then came out about this shit?
I don't know. It's just the fucking social media, man.
Yeah.
I'm not even giving that shit any credence, but, it's just, people just, it's just, like, just the weirdo shit that, like, man died, like, in a fiery fucking blaze in a fucking helicopter with his daughter, and his daughter was fucking probably clinging to him for life, and, like, anything that he's ever done wrong, like that, I mean, that shit is his fucking daughter. He saw his daughter die and couldn't do shit. Like, that's the worst shit in the world. You know what I'm saying? Like, that shit is the worst fucking shit in the world. And I pray to God I never have to feel that pain, or anybody else for that matter has to feel that pain. like losing a parent in itself is, I would imagine, would be incredibly hard, but losing a child is probably 10 times harder than that. And then at the same time, you knowing that you can't do shit, you know what I'm saying? And she looking at you, you can only imagine how big her fucking eyes were. And she, you know, he holding her tight, trying to, you know, console her as much as he can, all the while knowing that the inevitable is about to happen. You know what I mean? Like, I don't, man, that shit's fucked up.
In my mind, I'm hoping that it was something quick and just swift. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was not that. I just hope that it was not that. I don't necessarily, I think we disagree to a point where I don't feel like you have to negate. If you don't like somebody, you don't like somebody. But I think it's points where you just chill and let the people who like this individual grieve. They're not here anymore. They're no longer a danger. You know, I don't know exactly what happened, with that issue, but I feel like, you know, just let people grieve, and, you know, we don't necessarily have to talk about this. And the reason I say that is because if it were someone else, if it were an R. Kelly or Donald Trump or somebody, I wouldn't give a shit, to be completely honest. Like, I feel like their bad outweighed their good, in my opinion. But I feel like in moments like this, like, the only thing that we know of is this one thing, and it was settled kind of out of court off some civil shit. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like you should let the people who grieve, let them grieve. Like, you don't have to throw it in the face that somebody that they like and they love, had a blemish on his record, whether true or false. You know, I don't feel like it was something that was so big that should outweigh all of these things, you know, that this man did. What's your most memorable Kobe moment?
Shit, man, I got a bunch.
What's your top one?
I don't know.
And it don't have to be on the court. It can be wherever.
I mean, it's mostly on the court. I mean, he scored 81 points, so that's a fucking feat in itself. His last game, the nigga scored 60. You know what I mean? Like, his last game, he was old as fuck. He was 39 years old, coming back from Achilles tear. Shit, when he tore his fucking Achilles and still shot the free throws and walked off. I know several people that have torn their Achilles, and that shit is a wrap. Like, you cannot move. Like, I know my cousin tore his Achilles. Shout out to cousin Mike. He said when he tore his Achilles, the shit popped so loud he thought niggas start shooting in the gym. He was like, that shit was the worst pain he's ever felt. And he's been shot before. Damn. So he was like, that shit was, he was, matter of fact, no, Mikey ain't been shot. I'm thinking about
damn, you just shot Mike and shit.
Nah, my fault.
My bad, Mike.
Yeah, one of my other homeboys, he actually has been shot and he got tore his Achilles too. So he was like, but them shits were equal. But my cousin Mikey said he thought motherfuckers start shooting in the gym. That's how loud the pop for his Achilles was.
I can't imagine.
And, you know, and he said that shit hurts so bad. Like, his body went into shock and he started sweating like profusely throughout. And so my point is, Kobe, being the competitor and the tough motherfucker that he was, shot his free throws and then walked off the court. You know what I mean? Like, niggas don't do that shit.
That's some crazy
like
shit.
I said, I got 1 million, man. Shout out to Kobe, man. That's like, I enjoyed watching him on the court. I enjoyed him outside of the court. You know what I mean? As far as the game goes, he seemed like an asshole, but, you know, a genuine person for what he's worth. And, you know, one of the first people to make it to the league, you know, from high school and shit like that.
My first memory of Kobe was him and Brandy. Like, that's when I was personally first introduced to Kobe. When they went to the prom or whatever together.
His prom.
Yep. When they went to the prom together, and, you know, he was supposed to be the next big thing, you know what I'm saying? And he was. And he was. How do you feel about this logo change petition to get the NBA logo?
I signed it.
Okay. So how does that work? So it'll be Kobe's logo, and then what if something happened to somebody else great?
I mean, I don't know. I really haven't thought that deep into it, to be honest with you. But I mean, Jerry West was the logo currently.
And always been the logo.
He's still living.
Yeah.
Correct. But you know, I mean, he's a Laker as well. But shit, I don't know. I can't really call it on that, but I think he's deserving of the shit. You know what I mean? Like, he did a lot for the game. You know what I mean? Like, when Mike was fading out, Kobe kind of took the reins. You know what I'm saying? And him and Shaq. So, Yeah, hell yeah. It's just weird. Like it's unprecedented. You know what I mean? Like all the NBA greats that are now, you know, they're still living. Like you got, you know, I mean, obviously there's certain ones that have passed, but even shit you got, you know, Wilt Chamberlain, he's passed, and I think Moses Malone, like, are the only two MVPs that aren't, you know, out within, I guess, past 50 years or whatever, but, that aren't, you know, that aren't with us anymore. And they died at, you know, latter parts of their lives. So not to, you know, not 40 years old and the ripe old age of 40. So, it's the first time that this has ever happened. So, you know, it's definitely taking a toll on the world, you know what I mean? Especially the basketball world, but I think, you know, just across the world. Like, there's so many stories that's coming out now, you know what I mean? Like, as far as, you know, certain shit, like, one announcer last night said he was commentating, I think, the Knicks game. Forgot bro name. I can see his face clear as day. But anyway, he was basically, you know, to expedite the story, he was basically in China for the Olympics, and he was commentating the game, he was calling the game, and he had gotten in a cab, and he had like a hoodie on his head and it had like USA on it. And he was like, he was like real broken English to dude. He was like, USA. He was like, basketball? He was like, yeah. He was like, Kobe Bryant? He was like, yeah, I know Kobe. He was like, he pulled over and just started crying. He was like, you know Kobe. Like, just the fact that he, like, not that it was Kobe Bryant in there, like, just that somebody knew Kobe that was in his car, and like, that shit brought him to tears. You know what I mean? So like, that's the power of sports and basketball, and just his legacy in itself. So, that shit's just fucked up, man.
Did you own any Kobe shoes?
I did not, and I liked a lot of Kobe shoes.
You didn't own not one pair of Kobe's, my guy?
Nah, I don't got no bronze or nothing. Like, I don't know, I'm weird with certain shit. I don't be buying all that shit. But I wanted the Kobe's, and I never got them. But nah, I ain't never had no Kobe's.
That's crazy. I got like 3 pair of Kobe's right now in my closet. I remember when Kobe was with Adidas, and them shoes was ugly as fuck. The best thing he did was go with Nike, because that's when he started dropping like heat. I remember he had like, do you remember them Adidas Kobe's that looked like some fucking moon boots or something? They were real like, nah, not the Crazy Eights, the Crazy Ones, I think they were called.
Yeah, I know you're talking
Crazy
about
One. No, that wasn't it. I think that was his first shoe or something. Anyway, it was like, it gave you like phone posit vibes, but real boxy.
Yeah, I know.
Them shits was super trash. He had a lot of heat, you know, on Nike. It was, Nike was accused of pulling all the Kobe shit and to cut down on resellers, and Nike was like, nah, all of it like literally sold out in an instant. We couldn't even do nothing if we wanted to. Like, as soon as it happened, you know, everybody started buying them. Before we get off the Kobe subject and, you know, kind of go into something a little bit more upbeat, do you have any tips or anything for the listeners, just how you deal with grief or how to deal with grief or death or anything like that?
Nah, I don't. I'm sorry. I don't got nothing for you. I don't know. Cause I mean, I don't know how to deal with it. I mean, I just been thinking about the shit often. So I don't know. I can't help you there.
Yeah. I mean, I was waiting for you. My tips, and I'm not saying I'm licensed to give out. I'm just telling y'all what, you know, I've read and what I do when I try to deal with, you know, grief and things like that. You know, if you need to talk to somebody, talk to somebody. And I'm not just even talking about this. I'm just talking about, you know, life in general when you're dealing with grief or death. You know, talk to somebody, whether that's somebody you trust or a mental health therapist, a grief counselor, or anything like that. Me, my preferred method of choice is distractions. Like, I'm at my best when I'm trying not to think about some shit. I can get a million things done. I just keep busy. I'm one of those keep busy people. So I know, you know, even though majority of us didn't know this guy, I know some people are taking this a lot, way hard, like super hard, you know, and thinking about, like you said, you thinking about it. People are thinking about it like every day, and people are going through other stuff. I know Shaq was talking about, I think his sister passed in October, and then Kobe passed away. He said he can't eat, he can't sleep, you know, any of that, but it gets better. It's easier said than done, and all you can do is, you know, take the time. I also just want to call out the names of the other 9 individuals. The other 7 individuals, who was on that, helicopter. John Altabelli, he was 56. Carrie Altabelli was 46. Alyssa Altabelli was 13. Christina Mouser, 38. She was the assistant coach. Sarah Chester, 45. Peyton Chester, 13. And the pilot, Ara Zobayan. Sorry if I pronounced the name wrong. He was 50 years old and a pilot and a well-known pilot within the Calabasas and, rich community out there. I know Kylie Jenner and some other people had some nice things to say about him, as well. But man, rest in peace, man. Rest in peace to all those individuals, all those children, the Bryant family and Kobe Bryant, man. Let's get into a little positivity. Let's get into some Brown and Proud. So this Brown and Proud, hit a little bit closer to home for me, because it focuses on PG County, Maryland. Shout out to DMV. PG County is considered DMV area. A photo went viral of 8 Black female PG County firefighters. The Black women sheroes have arrived at the fire department, and it's because Chief Deputy Tiffany Green became the first female African American fire chief to serve the department. She spent more than 20 years as a volunteer firefighter before assuming this role as a leader. And there was this photo. Did you see the photo at all these 8 firefighters, women firefighters, all Black? Okay, I'll send it to you later, but y'all look that up. It's 8 women, Black women firefighters in this picture, and the picture went viral. According to the stats, only 7% of firefighters are females, and 83% of firefighters are white.
Tough ass job.
Only 7% are Black. So these women are changing, those statistics. And I think that is dope. First of all, I think volunteering to risk your life every day is crazy. Like, thank God for people like that. It's hard enough for a person like me to conceive being paid to risk my life every day, like a firefighter, a police officer, military person, I can't even, but volunteering to risk your life every day,
sure.
That takes a different type of individual. Do you think you can volunteer for anything like that?
Nah, I haven't. So I'm doing Habitat for Humanity in the morning. So that's about it. So you get from me.
Yeah, you might.
And I'm mad that I got to do that.
You might get a splinter.
It's going to be cold as a motherfucker.
Damn, I forgot about that. It is cold as fuck outside. Yeah, I'm like, fuck,
why did I do that? And then it's my new job, so I wanted to be like, nah, I don't want to do it now. Can I? But I didn't want to, do that because it's my new job. So,
Facts.
Yeah, so, I don't know.
Facts. Oh.
Dumbass.
You like, it's my new job. So, what can I do?
I can't really, I'm like, fuck, man. Like, I volunteered. I was just doing it all fucking hasty and shit. Like, yeah, you want to volunteer? I'm like, yeah, I'll do it. And I realized, it's January, then I'm motherfucker. Like, why the fuck did I do this shit? Like, I was like, is this shit inside? Dude was like, yeah, we're building a house. I'm like, oh. Okay. Yeah. So you don't build a house for inside, do you?
Right. You like, are we building a loft? Inside work.
Can I clean the windows? Inside?
The windows ain't gonna even be in yet. Oh, in the warehouse. Fuck. Nah, that's joint. I went to a wing bar crawl this weekend, and I was just like, note to self, do not go to a bar crawl in January. It was cold as shit. One of them bars was 4 blocks, and my face was numb as a bitch trying to get to the fucking bar, but they had some good ass wings. I had a good time, but shit, it was cold as shit. Things not to do in January. Bar crawls and Habitat for Humanity.
For sure.
Think about the people who don't have no home. You building a home for somebody to be warm and have shelter and stay out the rain. Pat yourself on the back.
I get it. But I don't get it.
I feel you. I feel you.
I get it, but I don't get it. Shit.
Oh man, you ready to get into some litter shit, my man?
All
right. Litter shit is our pop culture segment where we talk about all the fuck shit on your timelines and give you a bunch of distractions and shit we can laugh at and talk shit about. What you sipping on? Are you sipping on anything?
I'm not sipping on shit tonight. I did a lot of drinking over the weekend. I'm just chilling. And plus I gotta fucking build a house in the morning, so I don't feel like having no hangover, just in case.
Damn. It's crazy to me that people can't have a drink without drinking a lot. Not necessarily you, but I've had this conversation. I was just like, you can't have a drink.
Either way,
like, I don't know.
I just don't even feel like being like as I get older, like I can always tell that I drink the next morning, even if it's like one drink or two drinks or some shit. So
really?
I don't even feel like dealing with that because I ain't gonna go. I don't need no excuse not to go because I already got some shit that I want to go to.
Oh man. Well, I'm drinking a fresh Tastic.
I got some high quality H2O though.
All right. Well, we'll toast that up. I got the fresh Tastic, which is lemonade and coconut tequila. 1800. Shout out to that. Do that with splash of lemon. Tastes great.
I hate coconut. Coconut's so nasty.
You know what? Depending on what you ask me about, I agree with you. I do like coconut tequila though. I don't like fresh coconut. Like coconut cakes and shit like that. I hate that shit.
Yeah, I can't do nothing. That shit is, that shit is like, motherfuckers be having coconut donuts and shit.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't do that. It's crazy because my things with coconut and peaches is crazy. Like,
I love peaches. I fuck a peach.
I like peaches, but I don't like a lot of things that are peach flavored. You know what I'm saying?
You like, yeah, I feel you.
Like, I can drink this coconut tequila, but I don't like fresh coconut. Like, it's just weird. Like, people be like, but you.
I don't like flavored drinks, period.
Okay.
Like, I'm not a flavored drink person. Like, unless it's obviously like juice or some shit, but like alcohol, just give it to me straight. I ain't finna, like, I don't like sweet. I don't know. It's weird. Like, I don't like sweet liquor. It's weird.
Let me tell you something crazy.
But I know people like that shit.
Yeah, let me tell you something crazy. Like, as far as vodka is concerned, I very rarely drink regular vodka anymore. Like, it's always flavored. Like, it's always a Ciroc or a Deep Eddies or something, but with a flavor to it. So when I take like a shot or drink like regular vodka, I'm like, damn, my palate has really changed. Like, but you know, I drink like Jack and shit like that.
That's the thing. Like, liquor is fucking nasty anyway. So it's like you dressing up a turd. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't try to fucking appease me by making this shit peach flavor. This shit is peach nasty. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just still liquor at the bottom. Like, oh, it's so good. No, it's not. It's fucking
I disagree because I have my bartending license and I can make you a drink that don't even taste like it had liquor in it and use flavored vodka. I can make you a drink that and you'll just think it tastes like fruit punch. Anybody who can co-sign.
It's going to taste like liquor.
Huh? It's not going to taste like liquor.
It's going to taste like liquor.
You got to know how to mix it. Now, I'm not saying it's going to taste like, oh, this is just Welch's, but it's not going to be somewhere you're like, I don't like it. Anybody who's been to any of my gatherings, any of my kickbacks, one of the main things I make is this punch and it's pink. So niggas are disarmed by pink. And I'll put it in like, you know, one of the big containers with like the spout or whatever. And you can just get the shit out. Motherfuckers be like, yo, what was that pink shit? Like, I was fucked up. I had like 8 cups of that shit. Well, yeah, like it didn't taste like it had no liquor in it. That was the point. But you knew it had liquor in it. You know what I'm saying? B, I'm gonna make you a drink one day. I'm gonna make you a drink and you just gotta get your real, synopsis on it and a critique on it, all right?
Yeah, I'll let you know how I feel. Just have some regular shit in the back too, though.
I didn't say I was giving you drinks.
The only flavor shit
I was making you a drink.
I do like Kettle One.
Flavor Kettle One?
Yeah, I'm saying like. Yeah, I like, it's like a mint.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Didn't you say you like some Spa Kettle One with cucumbers and mint?
Yeah, that shit was cucumber. That shit good. That shit actually did taste like cucumber water with fucking vodka. So I will backslide a little bit. But otherwise, like, I don't like sweet shit. I guess I say that. That shit won't sweet at all. That shit was good.
Yeah. I do flavor vodkas.
And I got some moonshine. I got some corn liquor. That's what I've been drinking all week. I got some of that shit and it got like a hint of peach. So that shit's pretty good. It's actually super smooth.
Yeah, the flavored corn liquor, and I haven't had like a plethora of corn liquor, but some of my North Carolina peeps have definitely shared some corn liquor with me from time to time. And the peach one that I had a peach and an apple flavored one. And it was really, really good. Like, it was smooth. I just remember my grandfather saying, like, you can't keep corn liquor in plastic because it'll eat through it. You gotta keep it in glass. I'm like, Jesus, why would you want that in your body?
Shit, no different than like diesel and shit and fucking all the other shit that you got.
You're not drinking diesel?
Yeah. Diesel, the alcohol.
I've never heard of diesel.
You never drank diesel?
What is diesel?
That's the 100 proof, like, look it up. It's like 100 proof type shit. Like, that's what they put in like PJ and shit.
Oh, you never heard of diesel? I never heard of diesel.
Yeah. Diesel is that shit is gas. They
is
say
it
you
like
can start a
Everclear?
lawnmower with that shit. Yep.
Okay. I've never heard of diesel, but I definitely know what Everclear is.
Same shit.
Niggas done made that damn trash can punch and shit like that with that fucking Everclear in it. Listen,
PJ.
Quick story. I remember, shout out to Jada. I remember we were at her house. Like, Jada is just like a couple years older. So she graduated college, before us because she was there before us. But, she had a crib and we were over at her crib and we were making fucking Jello shots, bro. And the girl that was making the Jello shots wanted to warm up the Everclear on the stove instead of the microwave.
Oh, okay. You do it for Jello.
Yeah, for Jello, right? And
I hate Jello shots, by the way.
And dog, when I tell you, like, literally a drip of Everclear fell off of like her finger, literally a drip, and hit the eye, Jada whole kitchen burned down.
What?
No bullshit. Jada kitchen burned down. And I was just like,
holy
shit, bro. I was like, oh shit. Man, Jada was livid, bro, but that kitchen, bro. I need to ask Jada how that panned out.
I thought you were going to say Jada was lit. I'm about to say, no, she wasn't. Her kitchen was.
No, she was, rightfully so. I'm just glad I ain't do the shit. Yeah, I was just like, but I tried to talk her out of the shit. I was just like, nah, just put this shit in the microwave. Like, what are you doing? She was like, nah, it's better this way. And then I put my hands up. I was like, all right, do your thing. Like, soon as that shit, and I saw it happen too. Like, I saw it. And it just said, whoof. And the whole fucking, like, the blinds and shit caught on fire. And it went from there. I'm gonna ask Jada. I'm sure she remembers it. I probably shouldn't ask her. She might get mad all over again. You know that shit that make you mad all over again?
Yeah. Stupid ass bitch. Burn my damn house down.
Facts.
That shit is wild.
Right. But shout out to Jay, man. Shout out to Peachy. Peachy is the one who did it. I want to do
Peachy.
Yeah, it was a chick named Peachy. I need to look her up on Facebook. I think we're friends on Facebook, but I need to see what she's doing. See if she remember burning down Jada kitchen.
I'm sure she ain't forgot.
Hey, Peachy, if you listen to this podcast, hit me and let me know if you remember burning down Jada kitchen. Anyway, we're going to put a toast up. And I honestly feel like Terry Crews is giving me vibes that I don't like right now. Terry Crews has been receiving a lot of backlash and criticism after he recently spoke out against the negative press from America's Got Talent. He's receiving backlash because of his statements regarding Gabrielle Union's claims. So Gabrielle Union and Julianne Hough was judges on America's Got Talent, and they were fired late last year. And Gabrielle Union detailed the toxic work environment she encountered while being on the show that had racism, sexism, and a bunch of other toxic traits when she had a meeting with the NBC executives. So while doing some press, Terry Crews said, first of all, I can't speak for sexism because I'm not a woman. Yes, you can, sir. But anyway, I'll move along. But I can speak on behalf.
You just got raped.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like, sexism doesn't mean woman. It means discrimination based on sex. Like, he said, first of all, I can't speak on sexism because I'm not a woman, but I can speak on behalf of any racism comments. That was never my experience. In fact, it's the most diverse place I've ever been in my 20 years of entertainment. And he claims that he had not experienced anything that Gabrielle Union is alleging happened. But please note, y'all, that Gabrielle Union was a vocal supporter and came forth in 2017 when Terry Crews was accusing Hollywood agent Adam Bennett. Listen to that show. Adam Bennett of groping him back in 2016. And Terry Crews kind of became the male face of the Me Too movement. All the black women was holding Terry down. He was feeling all empowered. He was like, yay, black women, all that. So after he received all of this backlash, he then doubled down on what the fuck he said. I said what I said. He said, there's only one woman on earth I have to please. Her name is Rebecca, not my mother, not my sisters, not my daughters, not my coworkers. I will let their husbands, boyfriends, partners take care of them. Rebecca gives me wings. Then after Gabrielle Union tweeted something like, I'm fighting for all of us, he tweeted a Flint, Michigan proverb. Flint, Michigan proverb just seemed wild. He says, I am a hog. You are a chicken. Just cause you gave me eggs don't mean I owe you bacon.
Shut the fuck up. What?
Speak on it. What do you feel about this? Does Terry Crews owe Gabrielle Union anything?
I mean, yeah, the fuck. I mean, like, you either say something or you don't. Yeah. Like, what the fuck is this, like, double dutching ass shit? Like, you either in it or you ain't. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you don't want to be in it, don't say nothing about the shit at all. And then, you know what I mean? Like, just say next question or some shit, or you choose not to speak on it. But, like, if she champion for you, like, you gotta be a real nigga. And especially, like, yeah, man, that shit was stupid. And then you doing all this hemming and hawing and shit, man. Like, tap dancing when you should have been tap dancing when a motherfucker grabs your ass, you fucking pussy. I don't know. That shit is weird. That nigga's a weirdo. Get him the fuck out of here.
That shit was crazy. And, you know, just looking at him sideways and like, Terry Crews ain't never been like the blackest. You know what I'm saying? Like, personality wise, he's always kind of been like making my way downtown, white chicks. That's what I always think of Terry Crews. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And I thought it was kind of fucked up.
A 5'6" motherfucker grab his ass.
Frail nigga grab your ass.
Yeah, and you run into your wife. What type of shit? You big NFL linebacker face ass nigga.
Facts. And he posted a picture the other day looking like a fucking a melted turtle and shit. The candy turtle, yeah, like
fucking stupid.
I definitely feel like my whole thing about it is it's kind of like goes back to what I said about the Kobe thing. Like, if you don't have nothing good to say, just don't say nothing at all right now. Right. You know what I'm saying? Everybody is allowed their opinion, but it's people that go out of their way to say shit, period, to be involved in the conversation. You know what I'm saying? That's always been one of my gripes with like the Game and 50 Cent and Tighe. Like, they always inserting themselves in some shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, right. I feel like she championed for you. This is a 1-to-1 relationship right here. Like, yeah. This ain't even like some random black woman that's saying this shit happened. And I just feel like just being somebody black, you should know, like, let me ask you this. Do you think it violates code, like black people code?
That's the thing, like, yeah, hell yeah. So even if like, boom, even if he was like, yo, I didn't personally experience that, but that's my sister, she championed for me, so I'll champion for her, I'll ride for her and whatever, I believe what she says, or something to that effect. Yeah. Like, I know you don't want to compromise your integrity as far as your job goes, cause whatever, and I get that. But at the same time, like, you can still stand up for that black woman in a way that dignifies her and dignifies you to the point where you're not like castigating her or fucking throwing her under the bus.
Yeah.
And, you know what I mean? Like getting her ran over and looking like you're not supporting her. You can still be in support of her. And if whatever claims that she makes, even if it's not the same experience that you have, you know what I mean?
And it's really like nobody asked you, dog. Like,
yeah, like the fuck, yeah. Was he, that's what I'm saying. Was he in an interview or some shit?
Yeah, he was on an interview, but everything that I seen, you know, they were talking about like America's Got Talent, and I could be wrong, but he just volunteered the information.
Like, why is he on the show anyway?
Being fucking goofy like, ass Terry Crews.
Yeah, like what the fuck? Like for popping your pecs and shit, my nigga. Like the fuck out of here. Like,
Peck popping.
You ain't got no talent. Yeah, popping on the handstand. Bitch ass nigga.
Yeah, man, I thought that was kind of
That's what happened.
up.
That's why you peck popping, you got your ass touched. You peck pocking on the ass, on the handstand, got your ass touched. And you ain't want to goddamn punk ass nigga, man.
But it's just fucked up because this just happened to you. Like, this is not something that is so far in your past that you've lost touch. You know what I'm saying? Like, where you don't remember, where you was like, oh shit, she did ride for me. Like, but that was 20 years ago.
Crazy.
I forgot.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, nigga, that shit was last week.
That shit was last week. That shit really was last week. And he even admitted himself, like, you know, black women and women like really held me down. Cause at the end of the day, most of the guys of all colors was like, you let this nigga grab your ass, like you say, like pussy nigga, like you could have beat his ass or whatever. And everybody was like, nah, you know, he kind of handled it the right way, you know, but I felt like maybe this selfish move was like, oh, I already, you know, made the white people mad once. I don't want to make them mad again type shit. Like he didn't want to lose his job or he was trying to save his job. But again, you didn't have to say anything. Right. Even if you couldn't root for her, you didn't have to go against her. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that is just like fucked up. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know, like, is this a L, a trade, or a cancel for him?
That's just a L. I mean, I'll trade him in a L. I can't really say that I give a fuck enough to try to cancel.
Right.
Ted Cruz, because
I don't think I watched anything with. Well, I did. I used to watch something about Chris.
If Friday come on, I'm not cutting Friday off because you know what I mean, like punk ass Damon in there. But that's it. I mean, I ain't watching shit else that he got going on. What else do he got?
He was on.
I don't use Old Spice.
You know, he was on Brooklyn Nine-Nine. He's on Everybody Hates Chris.
Oh yeah, I mean,
White Chicks. He probably be in the part 2 of that.
Yeah,
I don't know. I mean, he might not be in that shit if, you know, them Wayans brothers not fucking with it. Right. He might have fucked up that job, so he better hope, you know, them white people hold him down because they gonna throw you under the bus just like they did her.
Your big ass. Your stupid ass.
Have you ever been in a professional situation where you were forced to pick sides?
Not that I can think of. It's a good question. I don't think so. None that sticks out.
I was in a situation just last week and,
man, you just got back to work. Them niggas putting you.
First of all, you know, the way my job is, it's always about investigations and looking at sides. But this one was just hit a little bit closer to home because I felt like they were trying to set me up to say something negative about somebody. And I was asked a question about someone, and so where my office is, this person sits right outside of my office, like in a cubicle, and they're admin and they're always talking to me. Anything I've ever asked them to do, they do it fast. Like they'll stop what they doing, you know, just been a great worker for me. Now I can understand how some people may not like her type of personality. She is very, like, you know, those like social butterfly people at work. They always somewhere. Yeah. They always talking to somebody. They always going for drinks with somebody after work. And, you know, I think they don't like
sucking dick in the parking lot, shit like that.
Yeah, I can see her doing that actually.
See, like I knew she sucking dick in the parking lot.
She's an older Caucasian woman, but I fuck with her. You know what I'm saying?
They get the meanest BJs.
Bruh, if I could just tell you half the shit she be telling me, and I'll be like, I be trying to steer that shit more professional. I'll be like, she'd be like, Sean, I wish I could talk to you. Like, I wish I could really talk to you. I'll be like, nah, cause I don't want to know like in our regular life. I definitely don't want to know in our work relationship. Like, you 50 plus trying to tell me, you know, somebody say something and they think they using code, but they not. And she just like
trying to like, yeah. You know, I sucked the dick.
Be like, so you know, I ain't gonna say that, but I licked the lollipop. You know what I mean? You should just said you sucked the dick. You know what I mean?
Yeah, just suck a dick, bitch.
Suck a dick, or something. But she, as far as her work is concerned, she ain't never did me wrong. You know what I'm saying? So they were asking me, my manager, she was like, you know, is such and such causing a problem for you? I was like, no. She's like, well, I see she's, always in your office. I was like, yeah, a lot of people, my office is the place. Like a lot of people come in there. I said, in addition to my job, I'm a life coach. And she was just like, yeah. Kind of like brushing off all the other people. Like, I don't really care about them. Like, what I'm saying? Like, how has the work been? Like, are you distracted but what I do know is they're trying to build a case to get rid of her. I don't think my manager knows that I know that confidential information, but I do know. And my whole thing was, you were trying to put me in a situation where I say something bad about her so y'all can continue to build y'all case. And then it's a company where confidential ain't really that confidential. So it's like, when like you tell 50 people and you say, psst, don't say nothing though. But everybody know because you done told everybody, right?
Right.
So I was
actually in a predicament like something similar recently. It's at my last job that I was at, one of my homeboys, I know I use that term loosely, like work homeboys, you know how that shit is.
Like White Mike. And his name White Mike, White Chris. What's your white friend name you always used to talk about? Your work homeboy.
Oh, no, that's Dan. That's my nigga.
White Dan.
White boy Dan.
White
that's
boy
my
Dan,
man.
okay.
Like, I fuck with Dan. Like, that's my friend. Like, for real, like, outside of work. Like, I fuck niggas up for Dan. That's my dog. Cause I know he'll do it for me. But, it was another dude, a black dude that used to work with me at, another company that I worked at, and then the company that I worked back for now. Anyway, long story short, he had applied at the company that I was at. And like, they came up to me. So it was like black card like time. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, but he really ain't shit. Like, he's really not a good, and it's funny because another nigga that used to work with us at another job works at the job that I just left. And he was asking me like, who's over there? And I was like, I said, bro, name. He was like, oh, that motherfucker ain't shit. So I said it, right? So his reputation precedes him, you know what I mean? So like, I'm not the only person that knows that this motherfucker ain't shit, you know what I'm saying? And this dude, like I said, my man, he's black. And then the other dude that I work, that mentioned his name was black too. So, at the time, like my director, she was like, yeah, we're hiring for doo-doo-doo. She was like, do you know the name? Bruh name that, and he told me that he was fucking applying to shit. So I was like, fuck,
like what I gotta do.
He interviewed and shit, whoop-de-whoop. And, they came up to me. They was like, yeah, we just interviewed, Lil Buddy and shit. And I was like, she was like, is he a good worker? And I was like, fuck. I was in a dilemma. Like, play the black card because you want to try to help bro get on. Yeah. Or like, this kind of your reputation as far as like, you know what I'm saying? How his work is, his work product, which I know ain't shit. Yeah. I was like, nah. I was like, I don't know. Like, I can't really say, but from what I've heard, like, he's not the most studious fellow that there is. You know what I'm saying? So I kind of like, I felt bad, but I didn't because I know he really ain't shit. So if he would have got the job and then motherfucker would have been looking at me crazy, like, you told her to hire this motherfucking shit. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, that was a very compromising position that I was put in, but I had to be honest. You know what I'm saying? Like, I leaned on my honesty more so than anything. You know what I'm saying? Cause in fact, it was the truth. It wasn't like I was lying, like trying to hate on the nigga. Yeah. It was just me being like completely honest. You know what I'm saying?
Did he get the job?
He did not. He did not.
Do you think it was based on your last bit of feedback?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I think they already had like that in their mind, and I was just like the linchpin. You know what I'm saying?
Did he ask you about it at all?
He did. He was like, yo, you heard anything? And I was like, nah.
Damn.
I ain't gonna be like, yeah, nigga, I told him, nigga, I was just like, nah, they ain't said nothing to me, bro. And he was like, all right, cool. And then he ain't never hit me back. So
I've had mad situations, especially at a previous employer where I was always asked, like, what you think about this person? And, I never want to like down anybody, I know. And unless I really don't fuck with you, and I'll still give something. That's the thing,
like, he was cool. Like, he's a cool dude. I be seeing him now. But his work sucks though. But and I know for sure.
I feel like at the end of the day, it's between you and that person. Cause what's going to happen is if you inappropriately big this person up and they hire them, they're going to be looking at you like, nigga.
That's what I'm saying.
We asked you. You know what I'm saying?
They're like, bro, what the fuck?
Listen, I always say, if I can't say anything good, I'll be like, I haven't worked with that person. Or, see, it depends on who asks me. If the person who asked me, I really fuck with them, I get them like the real. I'll be like, look, I wouldn't hire him. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's mainly somebody who trying to move into a different way.
And the motherfucker who asked me, I liked her. You know what I'm saying? Like, she was cool as shit. So like, but she was white. You know what I'm saying?
It's kind of a loyalty lies type thing. And yourself.
Yeah, and like, you know what I'm saying? And I didn't know how long I knew I was going to not be there too much longer, but it's just the fact of the matter. Like, I was just like, man, I don't even want to.
Yeah.
I don't even want that shit associated with me.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? Cause like I said, like his reputation precedes him. And like we all kind of used to work at the same company. So she could find out from other people as well. You know what I mean? Not just me. But, it sucked cause like, you know what I'm saying? Like he a cool dude. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, we kick it when I'm at work, but like, you know, it's like, what up? Yeah. Talk basketball, talk sports, keep it hot type shit. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is.
Listen, have you ever known somebody who was going to be fired and like you had to hold that shit?
Nah, not that I can remember.
Listen, I've been in that situation. I know when people are going to get fired just because of my job,
that's your job,
but it's different when it's somebody like, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, I was made privy to some information and I'm just like, now I'm not about to risk my job over you, you know, but it's kind of tough because you sitting there and somebody having a conversation with you and they telling you how they just bought a new car in December. How they now about to do all these things that cost money. And you're thinking like, man, like I wouldn't do that. Like if I was you, like might want to say that bread, like, but you can't say nothing, you know? And somebody, you know, when I got back to work and, you know, I'm getting caught up on what went on and becoming privy to information I need to be privy to. And the person who told me was said, you know, yeah, such and such is getting fired, that she'll probably be out in the next week or two. And I can't even really look her in the eyes. And I'm like, oh, great. Make it so that I can't look her in the eyes either. You know what I'm saying? Right. Like, appreciate it.
Don't tell me shit. Like, just don't tell me, my nigga. Like, I don't want to know shit like that.
Yeah. I kind of feel bad.
You know what I'm saying? Like, don't even, I just rather not know because I don't want to be, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to be acting weird around the motherfucker and then they be like, damn, did you know? And then I be like, nah, I ain't know. And then I actually knew and shit. I don't like lying and shit. Yeah. That shit. Like, unnecessarily, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't even want to be put in that position, man.
Yeah. I just, I'm just like looking, I'm just like, damn, like, but I think the solace that I feel in this particular situation is because, you know, the manager and this person have been at odds for over a year. And I have been telling the individual, like, listen, you can't change the person. You need to change the environment. You need to start looking for jobs. Cause I knew it was going to happen eventually. And I don't necessarily think the person does such bad work, but that could be just cause she look out for me all the time. I don't know what her relationships are with other people, but I've been telling them for well over 6 months to start looking for a new job. And they, you know, people still think shit's sweet. So I was like, fuck, like, I think I kind of did my job, but telling you, you know, what I felt like was coming down the pipeline, but I didn't know like it was anything like official that was about to come until, you know, last week or whatever. So, it kind of made me feel bad a little bit, but at the end of the day, you know, again, I'm not about to risk my livelihood for yours, especially not no coworker. You ain't my mama or somebody like that. Like, I ain't about to risk my shit for your shit, like at all. I got bills to pay just like you.
For sure.
But
that's a fact, Jack.
Terry Crews, not holding it down, litter shit.
He likes shit in his butt.
You shit, Terry Crews. Like,
you're a fudge packer.
I never had any, I felt like Terry Crews, you know, handled the situation the best he could with the Adam Bennett shit. And, you know, I was one of the white women. Damn. No, I should be banned for 15 minutes for saying nakers. What that lady say she said?
Fuck out of here. Your stupid ass.
Nakers?
Nakers. And I said somebody tweet today. I retweeted the shit was funny. He said, motherfucker like, he was like, you motherfuckers, say you the same motherfuckers that think the bitch that said, nakers. No, what'd he say? Hold on, I'm gonna tell you. That shit was funny shit. Hold on. That shit was super
funny. For y'all
funny.
who don't know what we're laughing about, one of the news reporters when reporting on the Kobe situation said the word nigger. we heard the word nigger, but she said she was saying Lakers and Knicks, like knickers.
Yeah.
Nakers.
The motherfucker never played for the Knicks. Like, you have it's no association with Kobe Bryant and the Knicks. Like, get the fuck out, outside of the fact that they're in the NBA. Like, it's a team in the NBA.
Right.
But motherfucker was like, he was like, motherfucker swear they heard the lady say knickers, but can't hear Lloyd say fine too. That shit tickled me. That was funny.
Listen, I felt like this was just something she says in her regular day and it slipped out. Like, she probably wasn't trying to say that at the moment, but I feel like that's probably a part of your regular vocabulary because it came out too easy. Doubt. And it didn't have a K at all in that joint. Like, there was no acres in that bitch. It was Iggers in that bitch. No acres.
Yeah, that shit was the ER. It was a hard
right.
ER too.
Iggers, no acres, man. But yeah, let's move on to the next thing. Terry Crews, you're a disappointment. The Grammys. Did you get a chance to glance at the Grammys?
Nah, I was too sad.
You were sad?
Yeah, I ain't feel like being even. I didn't want to, like, it was too soon for me. I was cool. I ain't want to watch that shit. Plus, it was.
So you was like depressed over this thing.
Oh yeah, I was sad. I was just like watching Shameless and shit and was happy. Like, I got happy off Shameless because that's my shit. That shit was funny as hell. But nah, I ain't watch that shit. Plus, I don't never watch the Grammys anyway, so I definitely won't. You know what I mean?
So I was going in and out of the Grammys, just because it was certain people that I wanted to see, and I wanted to see the Nipsey tribute and see how that was executed. So I get like a slight recap. It opened with Lizzo. And when I say recap, it's mainly the black shit. I ain't gonna even lie. Cause that's the parts I was looking for. You know, the Grammys be white as fuck. They did, Alicia Keys was hosting. When Alicia Keys came out, she brought out Boyz II Men. They sang It's So Hard to Say Goodbye to Kobe.
Yes, I'm cool on that. That would've fucked me up. That would've made me sad.
Yeah. Usher performed.
Him and LMA shit?
Usher performed. No, he performed.
That's my shit. That shit jams.
Usher, Sheila E. I forget.
Oh, shout out my nigga Bertrand. He performs with Sheila E. I did see that. Like, he's the drummer for Sheila E. I've known Bertrand Curtis. I'm giving him his whole fucking props. That's my nigga. He performed with Sheila E. on the Grammys this past. I didn't see it, but I seen his wife shouted him out and shit on Facebook or some shit like that. So he's a drummer for Sheila E's band. So I want to shout my boy out. Shout out to Bert.
Shout out to Bert. Do you know who the fuck Billie Eilish is?
Is that the motherfucker, the dude that be dressing up in all of the shit?
I think it's like a woman. Dude?
Oh yeah, nah. What's the dude that be,
you thinking about like the gay Billy Porter.
Oh, okay.
You're thinking about Billy Porter. No, this is a white woman. And I think she's like from the UK. That's all I know. So it's interesting to me with the Grammys that these stars, like the people who win the most Grammys, I've never heard of you. Oh, yeah. Like, I don't know who Billie Eilish is. I didn't know who Shawn Mendes was last year. And I feel like, although, you know, that's white Twitter, and white celebrity, once you become big enough, everybody should know you. I feel like if you get
I heard the name Billie Eilish, so I have no idea what she sings or the fact that it was a girl.
I need to listen to a Billie Eilish song because I really need to know. Like, she won mad fucking Grammys. Tyler the Creator won a Grammy for Igor. And Tyler the Creator made a statement after the Grammys that basically said, you know, he feels like, so he won Best Rap Album for Igor. Have you listened to that yet?
I listened to it twice. I didn't like it.
What genre was it? Okay. So tell us more about
it was just music. That. It was just music. Tyler Creator, for one, is an incredible rapper. Like he's really weird.
Yes, I've heard. I think he's a good rapper. I really do. The thing, I'm not.
Like, he bars he can rap like a motherfucker. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like, he says crazy ass, wild ass shit, but just to the way that he does,
he put the words raps, together, like the metaphors, a lot of
and
all
Odd
that
Future shit that I used to listen to a lot of Odd Future shit, especially like when Frank Ocean was first with them. They got like, it's all weird as fuck. But like, if you in the weird bag and just enjoy like
the weird
off
bag
kilter shit. It's very off kilter, but like I said, they make some dope shit. And he can rap really well. So I'll listen to the shit that he raps, you know, and he did a lot of shit with A$AP Rocky. That was dope. But I just didn't enjoy the album. It was just kind of sonically not for me. I listened to it a couple times. But it was just, as far as, it definitely wasn't a rap album. He's a rapper, but you know, he's not, that shit wasn't a rap album.
Was it organically not rap? So, you know, when
it was not rap.
You know, when rappers or any artist really feel like they've been doing whatever, they've been boxed in and they try to be different, like they try hard to be different. Was it organically different with the music?
Yeah, he's always different. That's just Tyler Creator. He's just, like I said, he's a little left of center. You know what I'm saying? Like, as far as what he does, just naturally. So, yeah, but it was just a little bit more, off kilter than it normally is. You know what I'm saying? I don't even recall it having any rap songs on it. I think it came out the same time Jim Jones' album came out, if I'm not mistaken. So I was a little bit biased because Jim shit was incredibly dope to me, but, I really just, it didn't move me like some of his other projects and shit. Not that I'm a huge Tyler Creator fan. Like, I got mad at his music on my shit. I got like, you know, probably 6 or 7 songs that I fuck with. But yeah, I don't know. It didn't really grab me like that. But I know a lot of people that did like it. I just personally didn't.
So Tyler, the Creator, made a statement after the Grammys and stated that he doesn't feel like his album was a rap album. He also said that he feels like when you're black, they automatically put you in the rap category or the urban category. He feels like urban is just another way to say nigga. You agree with that?
Yep. Correct.
So
urban is a broad stroking brush that you just put all the black people in one box because it's urban. But now we don't even have urban areas because they're being gentrified. So what do you do there?
Facts. And you have a whole bunch of white people doing black music. If that's the case, everything on this bitch almost is urban.
That's a fact.
You know, so that's
because Yummy is fucking hard as fuck. I fucking love Yummy. I ain't even gonna lie. Justin Bieber shit, that Yummy, that shit.
So let me tell you why I'm mad at myself. So I always get mad at myself when marketing makes me like a song. When I first heard Yummy, so I follow Justin Bieber. The first time I heard Yummy was on Justin Bieber's page and it was like a clip of the video and he was looking weird in the shit and I looked at this. You know how video can fuck a song up for you too? And, I was like, oh, this is some trash. I ain't really fucking with it. And you know, I have a problem with white artists or or mixed artists who want to choose when they want to be black. You know, they be black when it's convenient. And,
totally get it.
And Yummy was one of those songs. But, you know, Justin Bieber came in number 2 and Roddy Ricch, the box was number 1 and it was this whole thing where he wanted to be number 1 and I felt like they started pushing Yummy hard. And then all of a sudden, like, I'm in the house like, and you got that yummy. I was like, damn it. Why did they make me like this song? I don't want to like this song, but I give it to Justin. I like the fucking song. I hate that I like the song.
Shit hard.
I hate that I like that song, but I like the fucking song.
That shit's so dope. That shit is crazy. Like, when I first heard it, I was like, yeah, this shit hard. But I can't get over him saying like niggers and shit and like, yeah, some shit Joe Budden played on shit.
Yeah.
But, shit hard. Yeah. But anyway.
Yeah. What was I saying? I don't even remember what the fuck I was talking about. Lil Nas X performed. With Nas and shit, with Nas. It was dope with him performing with Nas. His outfits was crazy. He performed with BTS. Do you know who BTS is?
Behind the scenes?
I don't even know if that's what it stands for. Is that like a K-pop group, like that Korean group that I just see them all the time. I don't know what the fuck they sing. I don't know none of that. He was with them. He was with Billy Ray Cyrus. He had like this rotating stage, right?
Did Billy Ray do his verse?
Yes. And he had your boy, if you ain't got no giddy up, you gotta go, little yodeling nigga.
Oh,
Joe nigga.
I mean,
you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, little yodel.
Y'all know who I'm talking about, the yodeling guy. He was on there, but like it was this rotating stage. So when it got to BTS or, you know, Billy Ray Cyrus or whatever, it changed to a different scene. You know, Young Thug was on that, remix. And so it was like a skull and it had a bunch of slime on it. And when I saw it, I was just like, slime, like, I didn't get it at first. I was like, oh, Young Thug was on this song. But I was just like, I wonder why Young Thug wasn't there. Like, why Young Thug didn't perform.
Lover's quarrel.
Good. That was good and believable. I believe it. I believe it. But he did Old Town Road. Ava DuVernay introduced the Nipsey Hussle tribute that had Khaled and Legend and Meek Mill. Meek Mill came out and started it off, and you know, YG was looking crazy as fuck. He had on a red women's pantsuit, looked like, and some white shoes. So they did that tribute. And Kurt Franklin came out, and you know, Kurt Franklin was dressed like you expect Kurt Franklin to dress, and everything tight. Mm-hmm. And cause he been working out. But you know, I thought it was a good performance. Did you look at the performance at all? Like look it up on YouTube or anything?
I didn't.
Okay. So Lizzo won 4, Billie Eilish won 4, your boy Nipsey and Khaled won for Higher. That was off Khaled's album. Dave Chappelle won for Sticks and Stones. He won for that. Lizzo won for Best Solo Performance with Truth Hurts. Best Pop Duo is Old Town Road with Nas X and Billy Ray Cyrus. Billy Ray Cyrus need to thank Lil Nas X every moment he get. Cause Billy Ray Cyrus was cold out here in these streets. And now
he also turned that shit up too though. He made that shit hard though. I ain't even gonna lie to you. I like that shit way more with Billy Ray versus just regular.
I like both of them, but I agree. I like that.
Yeah, he smoked that shit. That shit
hard. Anderson .Paak won Best R&B Album.
That's my nigga.
For Ventura. Best Urban Contemporary was Lizzo. Anderson .Paak and Andre 3000 won for Best R&B Performance for Come Home. So that's dope. He has like 2 Grammys now. Lizzo won for Best Performance for Jerome. And let me see, was it any more black things going on? Those are the black things that come to my J. Cole and 21 Savage won one for a lot for Best Rap Song.
That's dope. Yeah, that's hard.
Yeah, that was super dope. And then we get into like them crazy categories that I don't know anything about. But I mean, I saw probably 25% of the show because I was going back and forth with it. I think they did like a good job of integrating Kobe in literally at the last minute. You remember they tried to do that with Michael Jackson and didn't do it very well. That's crazy because, but Michael.
Well, it was also BET Awards. So.
I think the Grammys tried to do that as well.
No, well, he died in the summer, so he died in like August. So it was like right around BET or some type. It was some type of awards because like the BET Awards usually in the summer. So it was either that. It was one of those award shows. It wasn't. I mean, so you know how we do. Yeah. We're going to kind of muck it up a little bit.
True. You know how we do. We going to just do some quick black shit real quick.
Yeah.
I mean, but they did have, you know, they didn't have a lot of time, but yeah, it was not good. So.
But they redeemed themselves because that's when Chris Brown did his shit like the following year or whatever.
Yep.
He did Man in the Mirror.
And cried and did all that shit.
Yeah. Shit was one of the greatest performances ever. Shout out to Chris.
Hey. Y'all know B Hill give everything the greatest ever. Everything is the greatest ever or the worst ever.
One of. And that shit, if you go back and look at it, that shit was amazing. Like to this day. I love it.
You know, that
was one of his better performances because Chris Brown, like award show wise, he don't really have that great of, like he had that one where he was dancing on the tables at MTV Awards and shit. That shit was dope. But like he don't really have great like memorable performances at
when
like,
was the last
shows.
time Chris Brown even performed at an award show?
I don't know. That's a good question.
Like I don't feel like I've seen Chris Brown perform.
And he should.
Since that shit.
He's a great performer. But
you know,
I mean, I don't know. I just go to his concert, so I'm cool. I don't care where. As long if he coming to Raleigh, I'm in that bitch.
I like to see Chris Brown dance with other dancers. I think one of his best performances was him and Sierra that time. I don't even know what award show that it was on.
Oh
but
yeah, with the raindrops and shit.
That shit was dope because both of them can dance.
Yeah, that shit was hard.
That shit was dope
Yeah,
as
shit
fuck.
was hard.
So the Grammy the CEO and president of the Grammys has basically said she has evidence that the votes are rigged, and she's come forth and she's talked about conflicts of interest with the label, shortlisting certain artists, basically like labels having input on what's happening, people accepting shit, to get artists pushed forward, basically racism where it's been skewed towards, white performers and white male performers. I feel like this is all shit we kind of knew of a little bit before. So I won't even get into that, but my question is around the Grammys, and this is there a fair way to rate art?
Good question. I guess not. I mean, I don't think so. I mean, I guess, I don't know. I mean, it's good for it to be recognized and, to do it. But I mean, who's to say whose art is better? I guess the masses would, cause multiple people buy it. But it's kind of hard to say when you pad numbers and you pad stats and you do all that shit. So,
and you got record labels buying physical albums. You got machines that can literally play songs over and over again for streams. You have ways around that. Like, streams are not real numbers, and I ain't even about to get real Joe Budden on this and get into what is a stream and, all of that shit. But, all of that is, I feel like anything digital can be rigged, just like the election. Sure. You know what I'm saying? Like, anything digital can be rigged. So I've just been thinking about, like, what's the solution? Like, we know that these people don't know about the music that they're voting on. It's basically, what can you do for me? Or, things like that. Do you feel like, if we can't think of a way that the art can be rated fairly, is it a way for, I guess my question is, does the Grammys or any award really hold its meaning? Like, is it this prestigious thing if your record company paid for you to get one?
I mean, if I don't know if you don't know, then yeah. But if you know, I mean, it just depends on if you give a fuck or not. But I mean, certain awards, I think like, NAACP awards, like Image Awards, it just depends on, the institution and who's, I guess, handing them out or whatever. For me, like, it would mean more to me for obviously Black awards and shit like that. And like, if you're doing, work in the community and shit like that and being, or doing work for your people or, I guess, or even being, I mean, if you've done, like a Lifetime Achievement Award or if you killed it in a year. So I guess it just matters to me. I think where it comes from is more of the
do you respect the Black awards more?
Hell yeah.
Yeah. No,
for sure.
I did too.
Hell yeah. That shit is, they for us, by us, you know what I'm saying? They FUBU for what it's worth, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's just like a HBCU. I respect HBCUs more. So,
but we don't necessarily know if those awards are 100%, legit as well. Like, or is it a popularity contest, or is it a who knows who? And one of the things that I see, and I don't know if I'm for or against, is all of these posthumous awards, right? So somebody dies and now they're getting a bunch of awards, but when they were here, you didn't get an award, So it's like, are you like, yay, XXX got this award, or yay, Nipsey got this award, when
it's like been putting a band on this shit.
Yeah, it's kind of like throwing a bone. I think as far as the Grammys themselves are concerned, I can enjoy it if I were an artist, because having Grammy nominated or Grammy award winning in front of your names ups your numbers, up your check. This is how much I pay now. I mean, you got to pay me now to do this. It might have been $5,000 for a walkthrough. Now it's $25,000 for me to walk through, or for me, it's now $250,000 for me to drop a verse on this album. Or, something like that.
But I don't even think that shit hold the same weight as it used to. Like, I think, in the 70s and the 80s and even the 90s. But now, like, shit is so, like, it's so accessible. You know what I mean? Like, I don't have to give, I'd much rather, like, a motherfucker can be like, yeah, I had 700,000 views on YouTube. That would mean more to me than a fucking Grammy. Like, you know what I'm saying? To me personally, like if a motherfucker be like, yo, like, yeah, this is what my numbers are. Like, granted, again, those can be skewed or whatever, but it's still it's motherfuckers who have 8 and 6, millions and thousands or whatever.
Yeah.
But when you got like multiple damn near a billion views and shit, that's for me is, more tactile. So you can see that and it means more to me, like, oh, this motherfucker's actually a star versus like just getting an award from the Grammys. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It just doesn't hold as much weight and significance as it does. Cause especially for our people, I mean, they don't even respect, like, I don't know if you saw the shit Puff said. Did you see what Puff said? His Grammy.
I did. Tell us though. I know he was talking about respecting black music and y'all gonna start respecting us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, pretty much.
I'm glad you brought that up because I actually meant to bring that up and I didn't even put it in the program plan. But go ahead.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much what he was speaking to. So like,
Puff won the Icon Award at the pre-Grammy, whatever happens before the Grammys. But he won like this Icon
one of the parties
Award.
and shit. Right. But, I mean, I think for me, like, fuck the Grammys. That shit, if we continuing to tell them to change and do this and do, fuck them. Like, we don't need their table. Tyler Perry got a whole studio. Let's go have a fucking, like, a award show at Tyler Perry studio. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, we don't need none of that shit. Like, we don't need to fucking ask Massive for shit no more. Like, Puff, you got $1 billion. And I appreciate what he's done. Like, absolutely. He certainly should. Yeah. But at the same time, like, at this point, we got a whole BET now. We got a whole fucking, you know what I mean? It's 1 million fucking platforms. We got a whole revolt. Like, it should be a revolt war show.
You're right.
Like, fuck these niggas. You know what I'm saying? So I'm over it. Like, we're at this point, like, we're doing more than we've ever been able to do in terms of our own media and our own outlets. And we have more billionaires and we have more, streams of income and outlets to put out our own shit. So fuck these niggas, man. Make our shit, cause our shit, like he said, like, we are the culture. We are everything that predicate, everything that we do predicates and dictates whatever the fucking culture is. So go to BET and go to Soul Train and do the Revolt Awards and do the, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, make our own shit. So, you know what I mean? So we don't need them.
Yeah.
Cause they gonna come groveling. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, can you guys please get here? Nah, we need fucking $10 million for each person to perform there.
Facts.
Or we're not.
No, I'm 100% on board with that. I agree with you 1000%. And I like one of the clips where he said that the Grammys been disrespecting hip hop since the beginning. Right. You know, when DJ Jazzy Jeff and Fresh Prince had to boycott they won the first rap Grammy and they didn't go because they wasn't going to televise it on TV.
Exactly. One of the greatest stars of our time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Like, and we are culture and I'm with that movement and I feel you just like what you said, Puff's a billionaire. So he can say a lot of shit. You know what I'm saying? A lot of motherfuckers just trying to get on and a lot of motherfuckers just trying to eat and do all those things. But, I think with the Grammy, you just take it for what it's worth. I mean, if you win one, you're probably not going to turn it down, but I don't feel like an artist should basically measure their worth by if they have a Grammy or not,
for sure.
But, all things Grammy is litter shit.
I mean, I guess it's lit. Niggas win, so.
Gotcha.
I'm happy for you.
Yeah. I'm happy for everybody, who won. I'm saying it's lit because several people just fucking dissed the Grammys at the Grammys. Like Puff and Tyler, the Creator. Like, I'm gonna take your award, but you ain't shit. Like, fuck y'all. I'm gonna take this shit, but fuck you. You're cool. Fuck you. Hey, shout out to them. Shout out to black people for just having the audacity. I fuck with that.
Do rags to the Grammys.
Facts.
Take a shit on the White House lawn. Just a shame, O'Shawn.
And I'm still waiting for my
Rock Nation brunch. It would probably be better for you to say that, but
it's okay. It's okay. I can live through you right then. Last but not least, so Meek, Nicki, and her boyfriend ran into each other in a high-end store. They got into it. Per TMZ, Nicki, this is one of Nicki's favorite stores. She's always there. Meek was in the store, saw her and her sex offender husband, Kenneth. They said Kenneth gave Meek some type of stare down and Meek was basically like on some, let me holler at you outside to kind of squash some shit, squash it. And they're all heard yelling at each other, like just going in. It's crazy to me because Meek has literally gotten into it like with everybody. Like he's gotten into it like with Drake. He's gotten into it with Safari. You remember, was it last Grammys where him and Safari got?
Well, last Grammys.
I mean, like two Grammys ago or something like that, or 3 Grammys ago, him and Safari got into it. Him and Drake got into it. Now, he's gotten into it with another guy, actually her husband at this point in time, about Nicki. Nicki says that Meek is still obsessed with her. But the other thing we don't know is, do Meek have a baby on the way, or does he not have a baby on the way? Because the chick has posted her pregnant, and they were at the Rock Nation brunch together, but he hasn't said like, I got a baby on the way. So everybody like, well, is the baby Meek's? Because they never really officially announced that they were in a relationship. Melania, or whatever her name is. I can't keep up with these women. But, have you ever ran into an ex? Do you think like Meek still want Nicki, or do you think Meek is still on that vibe? Like, I'm just trying to squash everything with everybody and just live a good life. Like, you got any assumptions on that? Cause all we're doing is assuming what TMZ asked.
I mean, niggas always want their old broad. You know what I'm saying? Like, that shit, like, niggas always gonna want, like, especially if a nigga hitting her and shit, like, you always gonna have, like, some type of shit. Like, I used to hit her, so you's always gonna have, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that bravado and that fucking machismo oozing out, like, yeah, nigga, I used to fuck your bitch type shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, probably, some part of him still probably miss Nicki. I mean, she is one of the mega stars, and, he know her inside and out, I guess. So, yeah, pretty sure he probably still want some of that old thing. He might want to, dead issues too, but part of him still definitely want Nicki back or whatever. So, especially if she broke up with him.
It was very interesting, when they got together, and who she ended up with is just perplexing. Her brother just got 25 years. You heard about that for raping his stepdaughter and molesting his stepdaughter. I never know, because I do feel like Nicki is very extra. So, he could have easily walked in the shit, looked at her, and she was like, fuck you looking at? Like, and then shit pop off from there. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, but it's just he hasn't spoken on it. She hasn't spoken on it. And I don't know if Kenneth, he's still on like the sex offenders list. I don't know if he can go back to jail or whatever the case may be. Have you ever ran into an ex? Like, and it either with your wife or with the person that they're with? How was that energy?
Yeah.
How was it when it was with your wife?
It's always gonna be weird. It's weird. I mean, you just gotta, keep it, say what up, keep it moving. As long as, as long as you ain't on bad terms and shit, like, try to make it as less awkward as possible. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. What's funny is for like me, and I was talking about this recently where, I've seen pictures of exes or individuals I used to deal with, maybe not in a relationship with, and I just be like, I ain't with them for a reason. Like, I don't be tripping. I'm like, dodge that bullet. Like, your problem now, homie. Like, I'm good. Like, I think it's probably only one ex, and I don't even want them. It's just kind of weird visually seeing it with somebody else. Like, and that's it. Like, I don't really have that type of energy, because I feel like literally, like, I might be on my B Hill cocky shit, but I just really feel like anything I want to hit again, I can hit again. And I'm not fucking with you for a reason. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. Like, I can't relate to that, that male thing that you kind of just brought up with that machismo and all that. And, unless it ain't even really about her, it's about him. Like, I want to show you, nigga, that I was that nigga, even if I don't want her. You know what I'm saying? So that's just very interesting. And like I said, Meek has literally gotten into it with Nicki's past 3 exes. So hopefully him and Nas didn't get into it. Meek, Nicki, and her husband getting into it in the mall is lit shit.
It's lit.
It's lit. Travis Scott style. You ready to give out some advice, man?
Let's do it.
All right. We about to get into Ain't Shit in 2 Cents. Ain't Shit in 2 Cents is our listener letter segment where we give advice to listeners that don't mind getting advice from somebody drinking a Fresh-tastic and H2O. Hill might be able to give y'all some sober advice this time. Some clear-headed advice this time. This is an interesting one. It says, happy 2020. I missed y'all on hiatus. Been a fan for quite some time. It's one of my favorite pods I look forward to every week. I love y'all. Keep being Black excellence. Thank you. And that's why I picked you. I like compliments.
Does it say it's a boy or a girl?
It's a guy. I mean, it's a girl. It's a girl.
Appreciate you, sweetheart. I didn't want to call a nigga sweetheart. That'd be weird.
It says, well, I'm assuming that it is a girl. Because of the fact
that I already call him sweetheart, it's a lady.
Okay, let's go with that. It says, I don't want to say my name, so just call me anonymous.
Anonymous, I want to know your name.
Why you gotta be anonymous?
Anonymous.
All right. I don't want to say my name, so just call me anonymous. I have a group of friends and we've been tight since high school. It's 3 of us and we used to call ourselves Treyway before it became synonymous with being a rat. But I digress. We are all in our late 20s, kid free, and two of us have careers and make good money. Well, the third member of our trio has not been as fortunate career-wise. She has worked retail and customer service jobs her entire life. With that being said, here's the problem. We would like to go on a 10-day trip to Europe this summer. My homegirl cannot afford it, nor can she get the days off. We told her about the trip and that we were going, and she became angry. She accused us of not being good friends. She said we could have at least asked her. I told her I didn't ask because we knew she could not afford it. After that statement, she got extremely angry and said that we've looked down on her for having entry-level positions. That does not make us better than her, and we think that she's a broke bitch. After trying to explain further, I started getting mad and I confirmed her thoughts by calling her a broke bitch. I mean, she pushed me there. That's what she said in parentheses. My homegirl got upset with our interaction and said maybe we should just treat her to the trip by splitting the cost between the 2 of us if she could find a way to get the days off. I told her no thanks, and she said we should feel blessed that we are in the position that we could afford to take a friend on a trip. What do y'all think? Should I feel obligated to buy another grown person who is not my parent, my nigga, or my kid on a trip? And that is from Anon.
Good question. So, no, you don't. It's your money. You don't feel obligated to do anything.
Facts.
Now, if you want to, then obviously you're well within your rights to do so. I would see, so like, cause the thing about it, right? So clearly she has some insecurities. And I can't be the one, like your self-esteem is just that. It's your self-esteem. Like it's yourself. So I can't
tell them, B.
I can't, I can't be accountable for the fact that you're not doing as well as you'd like to do in life. Right. So, and I'm not trying to degrade you or anything or degrade you rather and, make you feel lesser than, but at the same time, like if you want to go, we can work out like I'll pay for it and then we can work out like a payment plan or some shit that you can pay for it back. You know what I'm saying? To the point where like you feel, one that you can go and then 2 that you feel like, you pay for it yourself. You know what I'm saying? So, maybe pose it to her that way. Like, we come up with something that we'd like for you to go. You may not be able to afford it now, but something may be coming up in the future.
Yeah.
And we can do a payment plan, you know what I'm saying? Or like, I'll give you X amount towards it, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then come up with the rest, you know what I'm saying? If she really want to go, if she can, afford to get the time off or, not necessarily afford, but if she's granted the time off, then, do that. But as far as your original question, no, you shouldn't feel obligated to do anything for anybody that's not, a direct dependent or a direct, family member.
Yeah.
I get it. I got best friends that, may or may not be, doing as well as I am financially at this particular time.
Yeah.
So, me being the friend that I am, I don't want to never exclude anybody. So like I've, shouldered the load initially and then, just had people pay me back when they could, you know what I'm saying? So, and it, traditionally worked out. So, we all had balls and had a great time. So I know that was wild. We all had great times. We didn't have balls. We had tits. But nah, fucking.
That shit got real Adam Bennett real quick.
I know, it was wild. Grabbing asses and shit. But nah, you know what I'm saying? Like, so just, I would maybe, you know what I'm saying, see if there was, get creative about ways that, you can help her out. But, you don't feel obligated to do anything for anybody. Cause it's your money. You're obligated to go to work and make your money. So, that's what it boils down to.
Listen, I think that's actually really good advice. I gotta feel like when I read this letter, my initial reaction was, you fucked up when you went off on me. Like, that's when you fucked it up. Like, that's when you fucked it up for me. Like, fuck you. First of all, life is about choices, right? And we did whatever we had to do to get the places that we are in our career, whether that's, financially a certain point or whatever the case may be. You can't go, I think you said it best, be like, you got some self-esteem issues. You got some shit that, you need to work out, and you're not going to disrespect me and then get rewarded for a trip. Second of all, it's a difference between taking a friend, we going to fucking Miami somewhere and we got you, or Atlanta somewhere and we got you, versus a 10-day trip to Europe. Like, that's expensive as fuck. And either you can or you can't. I mean, maybe they shouldn't have made assumptions that she couldn't get off and that she didn't have the money. Because, like you said, it could have been a situation like you said, well, yeah, y'all, I want to go. Can I borrow the money from one of y'all? But I still feel like that's her place as an adult to say, can I borrow, or what's going on? Like, I shouldn't have to offer this shit to you. Like, I work fucking hard, and not saying that she doesn't work hard in the jobs that she works for, but if you're going to be working hard, you should at least be getting paid something, for working hard. And I feel like a 10-day trip to Europe, that's something like, I work hard, I deserve this. You know what I'm saying? That ain't no domestic shit where, you know what I'm saying, we can get by. I could be.
And it's like, I ain't trying to go, like, I refuse, like, I haven't been in this position in a very long time, but even before, like, well, maybe when I was young, but I would go somewhere with, a couple of $100, but I can't, like, if I can't afford to go nowhere, I'm not going no fucking where. Like, I'm not going to be out of town with no fucking money. Like, and that shit, I had a couple homeboys do that stupid shit, like, once or twice. I'm like, nigga, you came the fuck out of town, you ain't got no money. Like, I'm not finna, you know what I'm saying? Right. Like, you can't go home and make a sandwich when you out of town. Like, it's none of that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I can't, fuck that shit. I refuse. I can't go out of town if I ain't got no cheese.
Facts. Like, I know
too much shit be happening.
I know adults, like, you was talking about, you and your friends went out just for the night in Charlotte or whatever, and it was like a rocky y'all. I can't even do that no more. Like, I can't even do like the sleepover shit no more. Like, I can't even do that shit. So I definitely can't go nowhere with like no money. And I've literally been places with groups of people, and it's a person there that don't have money to buy food. Now, this ain't in my like friend circle per se. I think I've, especially older, I think that, you surround yourself with like people. So fortunately, majority of the people I've went places with that are my friends, especially in the past 10 years or so, everybody got their own money, or they was in a place where they had the money for the trip. Now, how you got it, that's not on me. But you know what I'm saying? Like, we going to Europe, it's going to cost money to be there for 10 days. You know what I'm saying? Like, who buying your food? Who paying for these trains and planes and stops in the other cities and, all of that type of shit. I just can't be an adult and go somewhere without some money, bro. Like, or in a credit card or some shit. And granted, y'all in y'all early or late 20s, and y'all getting almost to that 30 stage where you're being held accountable. But, in your late 20s, I would encourage her, like, look, You need to get to where you want to be. So what do you want to do? Because some people are really complacent. Now, have you had these types of jobs your whole life because that's the only job you can get? Do you need, further education? And ain't nothing wrong with these jobs, but you got to be okay with the life you can build with a certain job. If you want to work retail, that's totally fine, but you got to live I work retail life. You can't live a lifestyle of rich and famous life, or you can't live a $75,000 life and you making $30,000 or $25,000. So you have to think about the life that you want to live, and you got to cultivate a career that makes that type of money of the life that you want to live. And Anonymous, it sounds like you and your homegirl, number 2 of the Treyway, y'all did what y'all had to do. I don't think you should feel bad at all. I feel like if you want to chip in, I'm more so in the B Hill vein of things. Like, if you trust her, I'll loan you some money. But like I said, this is a big trip. This ain't nothing light where we just going on a road trip and it's like, yeah, I got you type shit. Right. You know what I'm saying? This is like a lot of money, and you ain't even appreciative, because the first thing you did was go at our neck. We not good friends, and you think I'm a broke bitch and all this other shit, man. Listen, I think you good. I think you good. That's a long
way to go to motherfucking be arguing with a motherfucker.
Yeah, and it shit be tense. And then I honestly feel like too, be just based on the chick's reaction to all this, I feel like even as she go on a trip, she gonna still feel like they looking down on her because she ain't got the money to go. So it goes back to your whole self-esteem thing. Like, I don't feel like it's going to be a good trip. It's too much cloud. I feel like y'all go, y'all have a good time, and y'all deal with her when y'all come back. And she ain't y'all friend because y'all went on a trip, then she ain't y'all friend anyway. You just got to be able to deal with that. Any last words for Anonymous?
Nah, I think we summed it up.
Yeah, Anonymous, let us know. You should be good. You should feel okay about your shit. If y'all want some of this grade A advice, y'all listen, B brought up the self-esteem and all that. Look what a clear mind gives you, man. He gave out great advice. Sure. If y'all want some grade A advice, I don't know if it'll be sober next time, but if y'all want some, it's the ain'tshitshow@gmail.com, and that's the X for the I will be, and you're letting me get read on the show. Let's wrap this bitch up with some free smoke.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Free smoke is where we talk about hot button personal topics. It could be anything from politics to petty. So today's topic is entertainment and race in the news. So we talked about the Terry Crews thing, but it was a couple other items that came up, and it's in regards to race, entertainment and race in the news. First up, Hot 97, Ebro Darton, kind of ignited a lively debate this week when he claimed that Eminem didn't receive the respect that he should in hip hop. Ebro tweeted, Eminem treats rap how black folks have to treat life. Be 5 times better, work 5 times harder than everyone, and still not necessarily get the respect. He was speaking on Eminem's new album, Music to Be Murdered By. Have you listened to this album?
I heard a few joints off of it.
Okay. I have not listened to it. I didn't even know anything about it until like later part of last week or the weekend, maybe. Naturally, people criticize Ebro by claiming it's unfair to equate M's perceived struggle in hip hop to the struggles of everyday black people. Also argued that Eminem's race was a big factor in the reason for his commercial success. Ebro insisted that a big bank account does not indicate respect. What do you think about this?
I think that shit was far-fetched. I don't know what he was trying to prove. I don't agree.
Yeah.
I mean, M doesn't get the respect that he gets. His music just isn't as good as it used to be.
Yeah.
And that's just what it boils down to.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, the Marshall Mathers LP and Slim Shady LP were really good. And even, was it Encore? Eminem? The first 3 albums were really good.
I agree.
After that, they just, weren't, you know what I mean? Like, it's been a couple, like, Kamikaze was decent, but
that was.
Now, he just ain't there. That was decent. That was 2 albums ago, whatever. This shit, I really didn't like it. I don't like M's beats. Like, it's too many words. Like, it's too rapidy rap. Like,
is it that he hasn't adjusted to the time.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, like, yeah, it's just like he can rap, like, and make words rhyme that aren't supposed to rhyme in ways that they shouldn't. And he does that better than most people can. But it's just cause you can do that doesn't mean that it's good shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't feel like hearing that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't finna be like, oh, I'm not doing all that shit. Not at 37 years old. So,
yeah.
And I think maybe he's just bored and trying to compete with himself, which I can get it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, he's just super duper rich, sitting wherever he's sitting, don't come outside very often, you know what I'm saying? And just sitting there. So, you know, he's just making music and shit. But to compare that struggle to the plight of black people and shit, that shit is dumb. You know what I mean? Like, I don't agree with it at all.
Yeah.
And it's just, I mean, what it boils down to is not the fact that he's heralded and highly respected in rap. But nobody ever take that away from him. Like, especially,
and I think that early,
generation.
like you said, I don't think the music has been as good. And I feel like that's kind of like a typical thing, right? Like, even if you look at, well, I don't know, Hov adjusts well, but Hov has albums that have done better than others. And,
sure.
and things where people like, I don't know, but they still listen to it. I don't think it's like a Hov album where people say it's trash. Only exception.
Yeah, Hov is probably the only exception to that. Like, Hov and Drake, you know what I'm saying? Like, their qualities of their bodies where you just evolve, so you can't really.
But I think
like,
Drake can't even deal with the age thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, Eminem and Hov, they not only got to compete with the time they've been in the industry and the previous number ones, but they also have to deal with the fact that they're both 45 plus and in a so-called young man's game and able to keep up or not. And I think that's where Hov has excelled because he still does Hov, but he has done it in a way that it feels current. I mean, he not out here rapping like a Roddy Ricch or none of these niggas, but the shit is relevant and it doesn't sound dated, I guess is what I'm saying. And I think that, like, Eminem is interesting to me because Eminem dropped these albums and they're number one, and I literally know nobody who's listening to these shits. Like, who are these people that's listening to the white Eminem? People. Like, do you think it's the young white people, or just you think his cult following of white people 30 plus is really like Eminem? You think that's what it is?
It's just people that grew up with him. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a bunch of white kids out there that like grew up with him. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean,
we all grew up with him. Yeah.
Yeah, but so now they're not white kids. They're just white men. You know what I'm saying? Sitting where, and they're still the majority in the fucking country. So, that's you know what I'm saying? Like, middle America is still fucking listening to Eminem because that's their, you know, their latch to hip hop. You know what I'm saying? So, and maybe their first fucking taste of hip hop. So that's, you know, comes with nostalgia, and they just, you know, white people ain't got a whole lot to, especially in rap. So, you know, they ain't really got a whole lot to hold on to. So, you know what I'm saying? They always gravitate towards cuz. So, I mean, he's deserving of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, he definitely, you know, if that's your type of rap and you want to hear that shit, absolutely. Yeah,
cause he can definitely rap.
It just ain't for me. Like, I'm cool on this shit.
Yeah.
Like, I listened to like 5 or 6 joints and I was like, I ain't listening to no more of this shit. He nice as fuck, but it's just.
I think nobody can really. Well, I feel like you crazy if you a person who's saying Eminem can't rap. I feel like you are a person who can say Eminem is not for me, like you said, or I used to like the old M, it ain't really my thing no more. But for you to say like Eminem just can't rap, I feel like that's crazy. I think it's interesting that, you know, Eminem was this big thing. He's still this big thing. You know, Wayne had his height of stardom and all of that. And they're both like so far out of the limelight. But Eminem comes in, drops the album, does no promo, goes number one. Wayne drops the album. And I feel like, you know, Carter 5 was kind of like lukewarm reception, even though I loved Carter 5.
It wasn't number one though.
Yeah, but it wasn't number one long. You know?
Yeah, it still wasn't number one though. And he got an album coming out Friday, matter of fact.
Really? A mixtape? Mm-hmm. Or like an album? What's the name of it?
It's called Funeral.
Nice. I didn't know anything about. I felt like
you don't follow Wayne?
No, I don't follow Wayne.
Oh, okay.
I don't follow Wayne. I feel like there's not like the people who do promo, and then it seems like albums just come out now. Like, People like, hey, did you know such and such album came out?
There's
like,
really
nah.
no point in doing a promo for it. I think you do the promo after the album hits. Like, that's the new wave.
But
like,
I think they want that number one though. Like your Justin Bieber and shit like that. Like, they care about them numbers.
I think more people are doing more like Fab still making his rounds on his album. You know what I'm saying? I think that's where like
but
a lot of
Fab
people
ain't really
doing that.
been a number one artist in a very, very long time.
Right, but still what I'm saying is like they're doing promo on the tail end.
Yeah.
Like people do. They're working the project much longer than they used to. Like they used to work it up until it drops and then maybe a couple weeks, 3 weeks, some shit like that.
No, that's true.
So it's kind of changed directions now.
Yeah, no, that's true. That's true. I just think, you know, it's just very interesting to me what people are willing to go down for. Like at Ebro, like that comparison to like black people and shit. Like I do agree that one of the reasons, or maybe the majority reason that Eminem is able to do what he does is because he's white. And like you said, they want something to hold on to. They don't have a lot. They got fucking Post Malone, and Post Malone don't even like rap and doing the shit, and y'all still let him live out here. Like, I think that's the wildest thing ever. Like, you say you don't even like rap, but I'm gonna keep on milking your genre and y'all gonna love it.
Right.
I think that, you know, I think that's crazy.
I don't support, buddy.
You don't support Post Malone?
Nah.
Gotcha. I mean, I listen to it when it comes on, but I'm not
playing
Post Malone, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I wouldn't know what album came out when or what.
I just remember when White Iverson dropped. And everybody in Atlanta was on the shit. And I was like, who is this? They was like, it's this white boy named Post Malone. And then I saw the nigga. I was like, that is not what I was envisioning.
Right.
Like, at all. He like got the horses in the back, but he rapping. Like, he looked super weird. More entertainment and race. So, is it Tropic Thunder one of your favorite movies? Didn't we talk about that?
It's not one of my favorite, but I really enjoy it.
Yeah, okay. Cause I was like, I don't really like Tropic Thunder. But Tropic Thunder, Robert Downey Jr., who wore blackface in the 2012 movie Tropic Thunder, where he played an Australian actor who darkened his skin to play a black soldier in a war film. Robert Downey Jr. was on, the Joe Rogan Experience. Do you listen to the Joe Rogan Experience?
Not faithfully, but when there's like Joe is a super dope podcast. When there's people I want to hear, I tune into it. Like Lil Duval was up there, and that shit was trash. But Killer Mike was up there, that shit was great. Charlamagne was up there. It was Mike Tyson had a great interview up there, motherfucker. That shit was great. Anytime Mike Tyson talks, he's got a good podcast.
Yeah, I think you shouted Mike Tyson out on that joint like a episode or two ago.
Yeah, Mike Tyson got a dope podcast. Joe, he was back on Joe shit probably like a year ago. Or some shit, but,
okay.
Yeah, but Mike Tyson has his own podcast that I enjoy.
Gotcha.
Myriad of different guests, but I catch it sparingly. SAT word.
I've never listened to the Joe Rogan,
He's really
Experience
dope.
podcast,
Like,
but you know, it's always, I hear about it all the time. So
it's a really good show.
Yeah.
Cause he's a comedian. So like he's a comedian and he's super like smart too. Like in mad different
you gotta be smart to be funny. Well,
yeah,
I like my
fact.
comedians smart, cause some comedians are just silly and I don't like silly comedy. Well, stand up wise, I don't really like silly comedy.
Yeah, he's super smart and like he just has a plethora, gambit of information that just
gamuts, myriads. Oh my.
For sure. And he does MMA and shit like that. So it's like you never know who the fuck's gonna be on the show. And he records like damn near every day, I believe.
Really? He get Monday.
He got mad shows. Like if it's not every day, it's like at least 3 or 4 times a week. And he does stupid listens, like 5 fucking million, 6 million. Yeah, no,
he do crazy shit. I hear about his numbers. I might not listen to his podcast, but I'll definitely be having my ear to the streets about these numbers that these certain podcasts are doing.
And like I said, he do his shit daily, so that shit is crazy. Like, and them shits be like 2 and 3 hours a piece, like every day type shit. So I don't know how he finds the time to do all that shit, but yeah.
But is it like current events? Like, is it a show where you can record a few of them at a time?
Yeah, it's just because he's interviewing people, so it's just like it's just talking about whatever they got.
Yeah, so he can do like 2 or 3 of them shits in a day if he wanted to.
Yeah, that's true. That's a fact.
But he was on Joe Rogan podcast saying that he believes the comedy sparked a very necessary conversation that's more than skin deep. He says that Tropic Thunder is about how it's wrong to wear blackface. I've only seen Tropic Thunder literally one time, and I don't remember it being my favorite movie. So with Tropic Thunder, do you feel like it was okay for him to wear blackface in the way he portrayed it?
It was a mockery of the mockery of fucking blackface. You know what I'm saying? Cause like he was beside Brandon T. Jackson and shit, and like he's doing mad shit that like he thinks black people do because he's from Australia. Okay. So he really doesn't
So he Iggy Azalea, really?
Yeah, so he had he didn't really understand like what it was to be black in America. So he's just going off like the stereotypes and shit that he's seen, you know, portrayed in the news. So like him and Brandon T. Jackson had like several real moments like he was like, I'm going to collard some greens. He was like, who the fuck says that? Like nobody, we don't say that. Like it was just like, you know what I'm saying? So the shit was funny as fuck. Yeah, that shit was fucking, that shit had me weak. I need to watch that shit again as a matter of fact. But it's been several years since I watched it, so I can't really remember specifically about like the social aspect of it, you know what I'm saying? But I remember like them, you know, he's like, motherfucker, this ain't like, you just can't put this shit on, you know what I'm saying? This is an experience, this is a life, this is my people died, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, shit like that, you know, like the typical like, black stick as far as, you know, what we lean on whenever we're faced with, you know, fucking bullshit. Yeah. So,
is it okay? Guess, yeah. Do you think it was okay in this example? And do you think that it's ever okay to wear blackface, like in general?
Well, like I said, they're making like, it was layered. So it was a meaning behind the meaning. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, so yes, in that case, yeah, I guess, cause it was bigger than Nino Brown, I guess, okay, if you will. But in just in whatever form, you know what I'm saying? Just for the fucking mocking of black people, absolutely not. Yeah. But this one had, you know, it was layered to it. So, yeah, you know, it was the mockery of, you know, doing blackface and white people trying to, you know, assimilate and take on our culture and shit like that.
I think it was very interesting when, Joe Rogan asked him, you know, could that role be done today? And he was kind of like, I mean, you could do it, but like it's at your own risk. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, today versus, sure, when that shit, came out back in 2012, because it's a whole different landscape right now and tensions are high and, you know, all of those things. But as far as wearing blackface, I guess it's really like on a case by case basis. I don't really want to make a blanket statement about it. But I will say 99% of the time I would say no. It's not okay. To wear blackface. I don't care if you are, you know, wearing a costume or whatever the case may be. I think, you know, it always comes out like around Halloween and all of that about the blackface. But, you know, people play characters all the time and don't have to paint your face black. Like, you can be Snoop Dogg and not paint your face black. Like, niggas will know you Snoop Dogg, or, you know, niggas will know you fucking 50 Cent with the head on in the G-Unit tank. Like, you don't have to paint your face black. 'Cause black people play white characters all the time. We never paint our face fucking white, like, unless we're purposely trying to be disrespectful.
Right.
Yeah, like white chicks. Like, they were purposely being disrespectful. Like, but you gotta take that too, though. You can't wear it and then say I ain't mean nothing by it. You gotta stand in your shit.
Right.
I wore it, I thought it was okay, and I'll do it again. Like the Wayans brothers, and they gonna come out with, you know, white chicks too. And then it goes back to that age old conversation is, you know, can a press be racist?
Nah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't hold the power. So can we really be racist? We can't hold anything over you. Can we really be racist? If we really get down to like the real meaning of racist, you know?
Right.
So that's very interesting. Last but not least, let me wrap it up in regards to entertainment and race. This week, Oprah Book Club decided to have the book American Dirt as the book club book of the month or whatever. And it's by a white fiction author by the name of Janine Cummings. She has received a lot of criticism from the Latino and Latinx, community. American Dirt is basically a fictional story about a Mexican woman named Lydia, her 8-year-old son, Luca, who flee their homes and undertake a journey to the U.S. border after gunmen from a local drug cartel kills most of their family. Now, the reason the Latino community is up in arms because they're saying the book is full of inaccuracies and stereotypes, and a white woman should not write about, I guess, heritage and things that she does not know about. My question for this is, who can write about culture? Can someone not of that culture write about culture? Because it happens all the time in our community.
I want to say, yeah. I mean, I think I heard Charlamagne and them talking about it, but it's fiction. So it's based on fictional shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like you can, I don't know. I'm kind of in, it's fiction.
A little hard.
So you just make us. You say what?
I say, yeah, I'm with you. I'm like, it's a little bit, I feel like it's a little bit hard to.
Yeah, it's like, I can make up some shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can make up a story about, you know, Indians and shit, like Native Americans, and just kind of draw off experiences that I've seen. You know what I'm saying? Like, and completely make it make-believe, like the Marvel comic universe and fucking, you know, a bunch of different shit that's set in certain places and, you know, period pieces and shit like that. But if it's just all make-believe, then that's exactly what it is. It's a bunch of movies out there that are make-believe. You know what I'm saying? Like Star Wars and all this other shit and all this other fictional shit, you know, science fiction and what other, you know, type of fiction and, you know, genres there are. So I ain't mad at it.
So fiction kind of gets a pass for inaccuracies and stereotypes.
Yeah, because of fiction. I mean, it's all make believe. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to have some, like, you know, I mean, some shit has to have some type of, you know, like something, but it depends on what it is. Like if you fucking, like Avatar, that shit is fiction. So you can't have
but that's kind of like science fiction.
Yeah. But it's still fiction. Still make believe.
Yeah.
Made up.
Yeah. Like if
that's what big books are, period. You know what I'm saying? Like you can write a book about like, you know, Huckleberry Finn and all other type shit. That's fiction. Like it can have it can draw from some experiences, but still fiction, still all made believe.
So like, you think it's like a oversensitivity type thing with this because it is fiction? Because they're saying like she's using words wrong and it doesn't even make sense. Like the shit don't make sense what she's saying or doing.
Like collard some greens.
Yes, like collard some greens. collard some greens. One of the examples was she calls the mother abuela, and that means grandma. Doesn't mean mother. And you know, I don't know because I haven't read the book. I don't know, but I'm just trying to put myself like in their shoes, and if some black books that were like, super black,
even Medea, like ain't nobody got no, like, I mean, I don't know anybody that has a 6'7" grandma.
But there are people with 6'7" grandma. But it's different because I feel like he's a black man writing from a black perspective. I don't know where I land on this, to be completely honest. So I'm not really on no side with it. I'm just really talking it through, you know, so I can see how, that's a comedy, you know, but I'm kind of with you where it's like, kind of like fiction is kind of fiction. So you can make up shit and it can be inaccurate and it can be, but I feel like there is, because I know how white be whiting. I feel like there is a line where shit can probably become racist.
Right.
Or collard some greens. You know what I'm saying? Like it's some shit where, and I'm trying to like put myself in their shoes and be like, you know, how would I feel about that? Or how would you feel if you found out that whoever your favorite black author is white? And then now you're super critiquing the shit like that shit ain't even right or whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's interesting. And
I mean, it's like my author might be right, but then you got like Color Purple was written by, who was that shit written by?
Alex Haley.
Tracy. Nah. No, nigga, that was, damn, what's the lady name, man? Color Purple. It was, not Tracy.
Her face. I see the book. I know who Color Purple was written by. Color Purple was written by, bear with us, y'all. Color Purple. Alice Walker.
Yeah.
I always see the cover.
You see the Color Purple?
The color, cause the cover of the Color Purple, which is purple.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
But it was directed by Steven Spielberg. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I can't be mad.
Well, I mean, majority of these black movies been directed by somebody.
I know. I don't know. So like, if y'all want to, I don't know, fucking that shit. I don't know, bro.
I don't know. It's a sticky one. That's a sticky one.
Sticky.
We don't even know where to land on this one. And that's interesting because usually we'll
it's
just
like
give our hot take.
Half a dozen the other.
We'll give our hot take and move on. But no, this is a sticky one. And I think it's just something where additional conversations. But, you know, I'm just kind of going to give this a pass for now because it is fiction.
For sure.
Versus, you know, nonfiction. But
I agree.
I want to thank y'all for listening to the show, man. And I want to thank everybody personally who hit me up and just congratulated me about our 100 show. That was a great milestone.
Appreciate y'all.
Shout out to my friends who really, you know, listen and care and all of those things. It make you feel good that, you know, people can support, you know, your art and your content and repost it and things like that. And people hit me up like, hey, I don't have the repost app. Can you, you know, give it to me so I can repost it in my story or whatever. That makes me feel warm inside because it don't cost nothing to support somebody to post some shit or, you know, whatever the case may be. I want y'all to, you know, check us out at the www.ain'tshitshow.com. And follow us on social, Twitter, IG, Facebook. Y'all know what it is. Listen to us, Stitcher, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, all the great places. And, you know, tell a friend to tell a friend. And y'all know I like to end this Jeezy with a quizzote. And today's quote is actually from Oprah Winfrey. We were just talking about Oprah Winfrey's book club. And the quote is, be thankful for what you have. You'll end up having more. If you concentrate on what you don't have, you'll never have enough. And until next time, I want y'all to be great, manifest your destiny, and the marathon continues. We out.
Rip Kobe and Nip.
Rip Kobe and Nip, for real.